better. Anyways, Kev from Kevin's Corner, where I try to make sense out of nonsense. Yeah, man. And I'm back on this Friday morning. It is 11 o'clock. So either you're at work or you should be up if you're at home. See, so yeah, I said, let me go ahead and knock this out now. Whoa, there's the sound. Yeah, at least I know I got sound. Yeah. Now all I need is the people. That's all I need. I got the sound. Now I need the people. Because the show ain't nothing without the people. So where's the people? Oh, Nicaragua. That's what I'm talking about. I like when people pop up from places that I don't expect, catch me kind of off guard. I'm like, what? You got to be kidding me. Folks down there, I'm waiting for somebody from Botswana, maybe. Grab a couple people from Timbuktu, Texas in the house. Yeah, late at night, the stars are bright. Deep in the heart of Texas. Trying to look for a cough drop. Usually I have them laying all around this mess, but can't find any, so I'm just going to have to roll with the porcupine in the throat for a little bit. Oregon in the house. Oh, I pray for you out there in Oregon. Are y'all going to succeed from the no, I don't know, concern. Florida. Oh, yeah, silverback soldier in this mofo. That's right. That's what I'm talking about. Y'all kind of know my personality. California. Oh, shoot. Oceanside, California. I wonder what it looks like out there. I bet you it's beautiful out there until, Governor Nuisance let folks come and poop all over the beach and stuff. We got to be careful. Got to be careful. See, I always said to myself, if I was homeless, I'd save up just enough money to take a bus to California or Florida, but I've opted now just straight go to Florida because, you might be laying on some poop. See, when you live in Cali or Florida, you just live on the beach. You know what I'm saying? Live on the beach. But I'll be concerned I'm going to roll over and my cheek going to be on some dookie, roll over like, whoa, is that doo-doo? Is that doo-doo? With Gavin and Nuisance out there. All right, Antarctica. I feel like the Antarctica cold and snowy. What? I saw PA in the house, West Virginia in this crib. People coming in from all over the place, man. We bringing them in. Yeah. So while we're bringing people in, we might as well go ahead and get the preliminaries out the way first until folks realize Kev's doing his show early. He's doing the show early. Try to fool us. So let's get busy, y'all. Yeah. What? Real gorilla. Real gorilla. Real gorilla. There's some kings in the building. Gorillas in here. Gorillas in here. Gorillas in here. Gorillas in here. Yeah, I saw somebody from Ohio up in this bad boy. Yeah, I like that too. I like when I got folks in the homeland, the home state to have my back just in case, the crap goes down. I'd be like, how far away are you? Yeah, so welcome to the show, everybody. The number on the screen is 330-744-607. Get my big head out the way. You can text MAGA to that number to stay connected to me, just in case they unexist me on this here platform. Also, it is showing you my merch store. You can go ahead and shop and get some Gorilla Clan merch from the store if you like. The links are below each video. And I want to also give you an update on my old laptop, which I went back, I put it in my laptop bag, right, y'all? Y'all have been watching the channel. I got this saga with my laptop, right? So it mysteriously turned up wet. I don't know how to this day. I know Gizmo couldn't have done it. There was no water from the ceiling on the floor, but yet the laptop was wet on the top of it, inside of it, and underneath it. And I'm saying, okay, did I sleepwalk? Did I get up and give the laptop a bath? What happened? So at that point, I took it to, some laptop repair folks, and they all was like, water damage. I don't know, man. I don't know. Now, they suggested that, you're going to have to, if anything can be done, you got to take it to the Apple store. I already know what they're going to tell me, right? I know how they're going to, but I just want to, out of curiosity, I'm saying, this mystery, I got to solve it. I need to find out how my laptop ended up becoming wet. Just to let you know, though, I still haven't solved it. However, a new development. So I put the laptop in my alien, laptop carrier, and I just left it there. I'm like, well, looks like the laptop's done. I go today to pull the laptop out that bag. The laptop has now exploded. Now I need laptop gate. The screen that came off, the bottom exploded off. I'm thinking the battery must have just blew up. Something must have happened to that laptop. That's not normal. It just straight up at me. I'm like, what the crap happened to it? So I know it's done now. However, I've been running the Help Kevin Replace That Laptop Foundation for the last couple of days, and it is believed that someone reached out to me that might be able to help out with that. However, there are other expenses to come along with a new laptop too, like getting a warranty. So I'm still running the Help Kevin Get a Laptop Foundation going on, and you can do that through my Cash App or my PayPal link because I refuse to let this happen again. I will use that money to purchase somebody said laptop climate change. That's what I'm thinking. But yeah, I will use that money to purchase the best warranty ever. I'm like, all right, this warranty cover everything, right? Nuclear, okay. Cyclone, all right. The gizmo peeing on it. How about I guess just get mad at Democrats and slam it against the wall? Does it cover it? Is there any? I want it to cover everything because, thank you, by the way, Jeff. The laptop is the source of all of my creation, my creativity right there. So yeah, I'm working off of a makeshift laptop right now, and you can tell in the sound. I was listening to the show from last night, and normally the sound with the other laptop is all full, got some depth to it. This one is like my laptop right now ain't got no bass. My laptop got that but treble, and I'm upset about that. I don't want nothing with treble. Okay, all right. I want a laptop with some bass. So hopefully this will get resolved sooner than later. And we'll see. We're going from there. But thanks to all those that's been supporting me and chipping in and all that good stuff. I like to provide the best atmosphere for you guys. Unfortunately, Apple is the particular laptop I have gives it's the superior when it comes to editing. I fought it forever. I was a PC guy. I said, somebody was like, man, you really need to get an Apple. So I scrounged up some chips back in the day before YouTube got on my back. Bought me that laptop, and took me a minute. I felt like I was driving on the wrong side of the road. But after a while, I'm like, this mug is so wow. And so there you have it. Got too dependent on it, and now I'm hurting. But it ain't gonna stop me. It ain't gonna stop me. Yeah, the show must go on. So with that being said, y'all, you saw the title. You just cannot despise. See, I had to put asterisks and all of that stuff to try to blot out despise because see, YouTube is sensitive and stuff. But you just can't despise the Democrat Party enough. You can't. I challenge anybody, okay, to a despise off. I really do. I want to see how many of y'all can out despise me when it comes down to the Democrat Party. They are the absolute worst people running around. I mean, it just burns me up. So, the last weeks or so, they've been just throwing everything on the wall because, of course, they're so sadistic. They're so evil. They're so selfish. They're so dang on power hungry that they were willing to shut down the government, hurt a lot of people to try to hurt Trump. They don't care who they have to hurt. Long as they can hurt Trump. And that's what makes them especially evil, see. Remember back when Trump was president the first time. These folks were really willing to egg Trump on to go to war against Iran because they thought it would make him look bad. Yeah, these folks were willing to try to drive a wedge between Russia and us by accusing Trump of being a Russian agent just because it would make Trump look bad. They didn't care about the outcome, the fallout. They didn't care about what if Trump just happens to follow through or he decides I'm going to do something to prove that I ain't no Putin puppet. I'm going to overcommit to messing with Russia. And then all of a sudden we find ourselves in a nuclear war or in a full-blown war with Iran if we didn't have a measured president. But see, they're willing to do whatever at whatever sacrifice. They've shown us that by how they've treated our border these last couple years and beyond. They were willing to flood our country with God knows who, as long as they can get some more power, some more leverage, and free labor and votes. That is how evil they are. They're especially evil. They were willing to label Trump as a Russian agent, a traitor with no evidence, though. No evidence. They were willing to do that. They were willing to jail folks that helped out Trump. They were willing to jail people who they know on J6 did nothing wrong. These folks were willing to try to throw Trump in prison over some bogus charges that they drummed up to try to stop this dude from winning this time. And yet, folks think now that somehow those evil folks would have overlooked the opportunity to destroy Trump by putting out some dirty Epstein stuff. As creepy and stinking and funky as the Democrats are, you think they would have overlooked that gem? Are you kidding me? That right there would have destroyed Trump. It would have destroyed. They wouldn't have to be running around right now talking about he's a white nationalist, he's a dictator, he's a king, he's all this stuff. He would have been done. If they would have proven that Trump was really involved with Epstein, I would have had to go ahead and say, I can't roll with him, man. I can't roll, but I sure can't roll with the Democrats. I'd have had to write myself in. And yet they didn't use that nuclear option. What? But now though, they want to try to bring this up and piggyback off of course, the MAGA base that wanted those Epstein files released. I want to see who's in that bad boy. Yeah, and I don't believe it's Trump. I think when we lift up the cover, we might see Wild Bill under there. We might see Prince Andrew. Hello, could you please excuse me? I'm a little bit naked right now. Yes, I know you're naked. You weasel. Yeah, I know we're probably going to see a lot of folks up under there. And they're so I hate Trump crazy that they always miss the blind spots. They're so tunnel visioned that they don't stop to think, well, if we can't prove this, if this don't stick, and if the amount of crap we throw on him is just a little bit that only sticks with dummies who don't know what we're doing, then how much of that crap is going to come back? They don't think about that. They don't worry about the crap that comes back. They're the ones on the freeway throwing the crap out the window and it's spitting in the wind, right in the face. Yeah, tunnel visioned, and they don't see the dangers that they put themselves in because they can't help it. It's like this dog when we were growing up there by my grandmother's house. This dude named Brian had a German Shepherd, female, and the dog was nuts, man. Because back then, the folks want to make the dog mad. They feed him. They say stuff like, "Man, feed the dog gunpowder." I'm like, what does that do? Feeding hot sauce and black pepper, and then pop him in the face. So one day we riding down the street, me, my mom, and my brother, and we see the dog up ahead come out of the driveway and starts booking down the sidewalk. Now, the dog came out to look for victims. She came out looking around like I need somebody to bite, and saw these two girls down the street walking towards the dog with babies in their arms. So the dog took off full speed with bad intentions. You could tell she wasn't coming up to get a pet. No tail wagging. The tail was pointed straight. Them ears was pinned back. Full speed. My mom is looking at what's going to happen, and she's like, "Oh my God, those girls about to get bit." And as the dog crossed the street, there was a stop sign. Now, I don't see many of these anymore, but the stop signs with the poles, the metal poles. Yeah. The girls had no other option but to step behind the stop sign. The dog was now the stop sign was only about, maybe that wide. Dog so tunnel visioned on those girls, ran full speed into the stop sign with her head. Screamed and went running back to the house. That stop sign saved those girls. But what really did it was the dog was so focused on how am I going to punish these girls? How am I going to get these girls? Yeah, that the dog didn't see the danger right in front of it. That's what happened. That's what really saved him. And so Trump takes advantage of this all the time. But the damage that these folks are willing to do and the damage that they've done is unacceptable. And it makes me say it is very hard not to hate the Democrat Party. I hate the party. But when you see individuals that are so evil and willing to say some of the worst things, you go, the best word I could come up with is despise. Like, I think I'm safe there. I hope God don't say, "Nah, I know you tried to trick me, by saying you despise those people, but I read your heart. You know it was all that type of hate up in there. I don't want that. I got to fight that. I got to rebuke the hate spirit, but they make it hard. So let's get into what they're up to now to prove that you cannot despise the Democrat Party enough. Starting off with them being full-blown criminals. Look at this new story.
He was back in the district at this event. We tried again. I also wanted to ask you about the investigation into your family's.
Uh-oh.
But this is also part of her congressional duties.
Wait a minute. You see them put that little curtain?
Let's be clear about what the president
is. Wait a minute. My fault. Let me go back. Hey, you see this chick put that curtain up there? Now, she already done got accused of stealing $5 million. Now, see, they exploited the COVID thing. I mean, they did us real wrong. That's why I tell you, you can't despise these people enough. They gave money to all the NGOs and all of their friends and cousins who had these things that were feeding the homeless. Ilhan Omar should be in the slammer. It's a whole bunch of them. God knows where all of that money went. But this particular lady took $5 million. Now, I guess they supposed to have given her and her family $50,000, but it ended up being a mistake. Now, that's a mistake for you. I mean, I ain't gonna lie, that's a hard pill to swallow. You sitting back waiting for your $50,000 and $5 million show up. You're like, is this a joke? Did they prank me? Should I spend this? Maybe, but maybe since I'm a congresswoman, I should call them and say, hey, listen, is this a mistake? I was only expecting $50,000, but not this chick. Nah, she goes ahead, keeps the money, tried to cover it up and all of this stuff. And now her butt's in the pickle. She's been indicted. And as this reporter comes up to her, this stuff always pops up with the Democrats. As the reporter comes up to her to ask her about it, this is her response.
He was back in the district at this event.
She's smiling now, y'all.
We tried again. I also wanted to ask you about the investigation.
Watch that smile.
Your family's.
She hit her with the fake smile now. I'm just going to turn on awkward. I cannot believe you tried to hook me on the spot. She put up the little banner right there. Now, why can't you talk to the people? If it was Trump being accused, you'd give him a whole sequiliquy. I forget how you said it. Sequiliquy. Yeah, there it is. Yeah, you'd give him poems. You'd give him all kind of stuff. Trump, how many ways can I count his corruption? So now, watch her slide off.
This is also part of her congressional duties. Congresswoman, you're under investigation for the congressional ethics.
Where you going?
Violation of campaign finances.
Where you going? You don't want to talk? You don't want to talk to? You don't want to? When you guys are in the hot seat, you don't want the mic in your face then? But you'll rush to every mic to call Trump everything under the sun along with us. Interesting. But I'm sure, though, their party with so much integrity is going to condemn and denounce and demand that this woman steps down, just like the Republicans did with George Santos. Yeah, I mean, he hadn't even had a trial yet, and they was like, you got to step down. So let's hear from Hawker Jeffrey's response about this chick who done took the money.
Of your members last night was indicted in Florida for supposedly, allegedly using COVID relief funds from FEMA to bolster her campaign. If the ethics committee comes back and corroborates those claims that were made in the indictment, would you expect Congresswoman Shirtless McCormick to resign?
Yeah.
Sheila is entitled to the presumption of innocence like every other American.
Wait a minute. Well, why don't that apply to Republicans? Why don't that apply to Trump? That's my question. Y'all are running around suggesting that Trump is a criminal. He's taking money in the White House. He's helping his friends get rich. Don't forget, he's also best friends with Jeffrey Epstein, just because we saw him in a picture with him. Yeah, all of these things they are accusing Trump of, but yet now all of a sudden one of their raggedy, stinking, corrupt people get busted doing something, and all of a sudden they're entitled to due process and presumption of innocence when we get caught with all of our criminal activity.
She's entitled to her day in court, and she's entitled to a jury of her peers. We're going to follow the facts and be guided by the law.
Oh, really? Here she is now. Let's hear from her. Here is her latest defense. Now, y'all ready for this? We already know what's about to come. We already know. She's about to pull out the Democrat format of getting themselves out of trouble. About to bust out those infinity stones of wokeness and throw them right in our face. And this is the stuff that make me say you cannot despise the Democrat Party enough. Instead of saying, I'm willing to stand on my own decisions and just fight these accusations. What did she say?
Any thoughts on the indictment, please? Well, it's an unjust indictment, and it seems like these intimidation tactics have been pervasive. We spent all week seeing different members getting censured, all in hopes of intimidating.
No, not all in hopes of intimidating. Now she's prepared her statement. All week, folks getting censored. Well, why did that person get censored? Because she's a dirty rat too. See, yeah, you guys get in office and try to enrich yourselves, take advantage of taxpayers, funnel all taxpayers' money to your own campaigns, things like that, and then collude with stinking folks that you're accusing Donald Trump of being best buddies with. But yet these folks are interacting with that same guy to get Donald Trump. And yet you're saying that that's just intimidating and this and that. Yeah, you're telling me you can't recognize why this woman deserves to be censored? It's just intimidation and all of that stuff. She ain't do nothing. And here it comes, y'all.
And kind of distracting from the Epstein files.
Now it's a distract from the Epstein files. No, we're not distracting from the Epstein files. First of all, you're not important enough for the president and all of them to be distracted. That we got to go ahead and use this chick right here to distract from the Epstein files. Unbelievable, the arrogance of this person. It ain't Trump that said, I want you to go after this chick right here. It's her own decisions. But now all of a sudden, it's built in, it's programmed. Here's what you say. Go out there. Say it's a distraction. It's intimidation. Trump's being a bully. And don't forget, it's a distraction from the Epstein files. And right about now, y'all might want a distraction from those Epstein files because it's backfiring on you. Right now, you're in the car that's going, pow, pang, ta-dang, dang, pow. Everybody's looking at you, going, hey, modicize it, huh? How about that? You scared me. I thought they were shooting. So now, here she is talking about to take a distract from the Epstein files. But she ain't done. She ain't done because, these folks are programmed to do this.
And I look forward to my day in court so I can prove myself and actually state the truth. But if this is what Congress is becoming, where they're always trying to intimidate you, scare tactics, especially attacking minorities, black and brown people.
Here we go.
There it is. That is exactly how I feel about these people. And this is one of the biggest reasons I say you cannot despise these people enough. They use the worst methods to try to bubble wrap themselves by accusing everybody and everything that happens to them because I'm black. It's racism. I'm a woman. Now, it's not because you might have embezzled $5 million. It's not that. This always, look, if there are a lot of black Democrats getting in trouble, then so be it. That's the problem. Yeah, black folks who run in the Democrat Party knows, I'm running in the corrupt party. I might as well take advantage of it too. I see Nancy Pelosi doing it. I see all the rest of them doing it. Why not me? But you happen to get busted. So now all of a sudden, it's always people of color. Those people of color you're probably referring to, I can give you a litany of reasons why they are under the gun. I mean, Brandon Johnson, or how about Fat Fanny, or what about Alvin Bragg, or what about Godzilla Feet up there in New York, the one that brought all those charges against Trump for no reason, and now she is under fire. What about them? They're all corrupt, but all of a sudden now it's just people of color, and this is because of this and that. Well, wait, didn't Eric Adams get off? Trump went ahead and absolved him. Well, you can't bring that up. It's always I'm black. You overlook all the other examples. So it disgustes me when they use this stuff to say, overlook my corruption. Don't really judge me based on my merits and based on my decisions and my behavior. Yeah, I want you to be blocked and blinded by the fact that I'm a throw up out there bullying and attacking me because I'm black, like we're living in 1902.
Then we're going to have to keep fighting for the district. And everybody has been giving me so much support. And we're going to keep fighting until the district gets what it needs, which is fair prices, housing.
Yeah, go down the list. Now, I want you to redirect and go back to what we're fighting for. That we don't want to be distracted by all of this nonsense right here. We want to go back to what we which is fair housing and all that. So we heard it all before. We hear you guys come out and say that every time y'all get busted. I don't want this to be a distraction. All this is to take away from the Epstein files. And we want to really focus on, it's always now we want to focus on the stuff that matters to the American people when you're in trouble, when you get caught with criminal behavior. This right here needs to be, we need to get back on task with, and y'all ain't even doing nothing for the American people. What you did for the American people is not provide them that medical care that you were supposed to provide. What you did is took $5 million from the American people. That's what you did, and yet got the nerve to be talking about, I'm here to focus on the American people. No Democrat focuses on the American people. They don't focus even on the illegal immigrants with the kindness of their own heart. They're not sincere about them coming for a better life. They focus on them only because they are a tool to power. That's it. I'm sorry. I'm already getting worked up and we just got started, but I'm just saying, man, you can't despise these Democrats enough.
And fair representation of Congress. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Also, some of your colleagues to step down or resign.
They didn't elect me. It was my district, and so we'll keep fighting for the people and keep working like we're doing now until they get what they need. So we're here for the people.
Yeah, we're here for the people now. I would love to know what this chick has done for the people, or Jasmine Ratchet, or any of the Democrats, for all that matter. What y'all did for the people is shut the people down for 40 days or so. That's what y'all did. Yeah, man. Folks couldn't get the snap that they needed. Yeah, all because it was, let's hurt Trump. We're willing to do whatever we got to do to hurt and stop Trump. We don't care how it impacts the people at all. Yeah, but it's for the people. Yeah, locked up folks in their houses under some crazy draconian COVID policies. Kept the kids out of school for the people. Then stole money for the people. Made people lose their jobs. All of that crap. Now all of a sudden I want to focus on the people they voted me, and that's the problem. See, that right there bothers me because I'm saying we're surrounded by idiots enough to allow these crooks to swindle them to get in office, then swindle them to stay in office, and then when they get busted, they can actually throw out stuff like, as I'm under attack because of Trump and white supremacy and I'm black, and folks will somehow overlook their criminal behavior, like Fat Fanny, who got busted line to the people, busted line about Nathan, cheated with him, and yet those folks reelected her. There's something wrong. Something in the water. Good googly move.
So the only people who elected me should have make that decision. Thank you so much.
Uh-oh. But you want another reason? You want another stuff? You want another reason why you should despise the Democrat Party? You can't despise them enough? Well, of course, this one is a major one. Hypocrisy! Yeah. Look at these.
People were dying for this information. There was some sort of list that everybody thought was going to come out, and who's on the list.
Okay.
What's important for us to note is we shouldn't be repeating names that are on the list.
Really?
Because just because your name has, not on the list, but in the documents, just because your name is on the documents doesn't mean that you have done anything criminally irresponsible or illegal or civilly irresponsible. Or that you were a client. Or that you were a client. These documents, as I read them, only reflect Epstein's sexual assaults of women and his sexual behavior. So I think that...
And Elaine? Also.
And Ghislaine. And so being named in this suit does not equate to being accused of wrongdoing. And I think that is extremely important because conspiracy theorists seem to not understand or enjoy facts.
Oh, us conspiracy theorists don't understand or enjoy facts. Us conspiracy theorists that have been right about, I can't think of one thing we haven't been right about. The infiltration and the psyop of J6. Yeah, we were right about that. The COVID vaccines and Fauci. The list goes on. The Russia collusion crap. The list goes on. And yet, she's talking about the conspiracy theorists and stuff. So now, let's see if that holds up now that they're trying to pin this crap on Trump.
Yes, these are the facts. There is a list. Trump's name is on the logs, the passenger logs of Epstein's aircraft at least 7 times. That's already been made public. I mean,
yeah, but that don't mean he did nothing just because his name was mentioned in there. It don't mean he did nothing. And isn't it odd that they always just want to focus on Trump when Epstein was surrounded by corrupt, evil, stinking Democrats, some of their heroes in the Democrat Party. But this is the blind spot. Right now, all they see is Trump. They're the dog running to bite the girls and don't see the stop sign right there in front of them. So now all of a sudden, Trump's name was on it. Now, all of these years, you ain't heard nobody accuse Trump of nothing. None of the girls, even Epstein didn't. And yet here they are suggesting just because Trump's name was on the log, well, what about Bill Clinton's was on that mug 20-something times, and we got pictures of him getting a little back rub. But yet Trump's name. So that's enough then what? To assume he was doing something nefarious?
I mean, of course, Trump is denying any and all allegations, but all of that information is out there. Why not just put it to rest and say, release the list?
Oh, look at that. Release the list. Now that, they want to try to make Trump look like he was involved in some petty, what. They want the list released. Why not just put it to bed? Okay. Well, you want it. Well, you got it. Well, you want it. Baby, you got it. So Trump's about to bust the move. Baby, if you give it to me, I'll give it to you. I know what you want. You know I got it. So here he is.
You posted on Truth Social last night. You urged House Republicans to vote in favor of this Epstein release bill they're going to vote on tomorrow. I just want to be super clear on your position. Do you want to see that pass the Senate? Would you sign that bill if it gets to your desk?
I do want to. Here's what I want. We have nothing to do with Epstein. The Democrats do. Yeah. All of his friends were Democrats. You look at this Reid Hoffman, you look at Larry Summers, Bill Clinton,
there they are.
went to his island,
and
many others. They're all Democrats. All I want for people to recognize the great job that I've done.
Now, I'm pretty sure all of these folks are going, what are y'all doing, Democrats? Shut it up. Dang on it. Look, y'all so blinded. Trying to go after Trump. You about to get me in. You understand? Now, one of them already done had to step down out of public life. And I'm pretty sure Wild Bill is hoping for a heart attack or something to take him out of here before any stuff come out to reveal how foul he is. And don't forget, Prince, Andrew, I know they're all sitting, what are y'all, shut up. Stop trying to use it. You're going to make Trump finally say, okay, I'm going to let you guys continue to whine about this like you're really serious about just simply getting to the bottom of it. Yeah, you're serious about finding justice for the victims. That's why y'all in it. Democrats never do anything for the people. That's why I despise them. Nothing they do have a pure motive. It is all designed to acquire more power. And they're willing to do whatever, smear whomever, abuse whomever, put whomever in danger. They're willing to do all of that for power. And if Trump's standing in the way of that power, yeah, they will say, you know what, Bill Clinton, if you get exposed, you just get exposed. You know what I'm saying? So now here's Trump keeping it real, saying, look, man, really, this is a Democrat problem. Like most things they accuse Republicans of or Trump of, they're the ones that are guilty of it.
On pricing, on affordability, because we brought prices way down, but they go way lower. On energy, on ending 8 wars and another one coming pretty soon, I believe.
Oh, yeah.
We've done
important stuff.
And I hate to see that deflect from the great job we've done. So I'm all for it.
Now, I wonder if they were expecting that. See, it's one of those things. You don't expect it. It's like the little girl who gave me an apology and I didn't expect it. Yeah, I think she's maybe like the senior in high school. I was teaching a high school class and I had this one kid in my class who I despised. He was one kid that I said, man, if I could just go ahead and be 17 again, I beat you up, man. I think I told him that one time. I was like, man, if I was your age, man, I'd dust you. Boy, he was horrible. And one day in the middle of me teaching, this girl gets up and starts walking out the room. And he, oh man, what's up with her, man? So you always be on me. And so, of course, I'm looking, I'm like, you know what? Yeah, what is up with that? I got my game face on. I'm like, what are you doing? This girl immediately turned and gave me what I wanted. She said, oh, you know what, miss, I'm so sorry. I mean, I don't know what I was thinking. I'm going to go back. She disarmed me. I wasn't ready for it. I was like, all right, then. Okay, go ahead, have a seat. You need to go? If you need to go, go ahead. Go on to the bathroom. She disarmed me. I wasn't ready for it. I was ready for a fight. So these folks right here thinking that Trump's going to fight this and that, and we can keep this in the public's ear by suggesting all kind of crap and leaking all kind of crap. And Trump said, now let's get this mess out the way. Go ahead and put this mess out here so we can get to the bottom of this crap.
Next day.
You keep saying
well, he didn't do anything, there's no indication of criminality. If that's true, he should be elated that we're putting these things out.
It's not if that's true, it is true. Can you name any evidence?
Get him, Scott. Get them, Scott. Scott about to drop it like it's hot. Drop it like it's hot. Yeah, man. Scott's like, that is true. Can you name any evidence? Now, watch this predator right here. Watch Milli Vanilli. Girl, you know it's true. You see Milli Vanilli, then you too can be like Milli Vanilli. So now we got Terrence Trent D'Arby up here. Oh yeah, talking about some all alone with you makes the butterflies in me. Right. So that's what you're doing nowadays, Terrence Trent. You on CNN? So now watch Terrence Trent try to respond because he looks stupid. That's why his mouth wide open. Can you tell us any evidence? Oh.
I would like to see the evidence. And what I'm saying is,
what if there is none? You're telling me we didn't see the evidence all this time? Like Adam Schiff says, it's out in plain sight.
After 10 years of public life, you wouldn't know it already?
No, I don't. No, that's exactly the point.
Oh my goodness. This is an IQ test. Don't fail it. Come on.
Oh, Scott, with the subtle jab. This is an IQ test. No, this is also a TDS test. It's a propaganda test because these folks all know. Yeah, it's like Van Jones back in the day when he knew there was nothing to the Russia collusion delusion. And got busted talking about, it's a nothing burger. Nothing burger. They all know that Trump has nothing to do with Epstein, but they got to get on CNN and push the propaganda. Terrence Trent right here. Okay, so I said Terrence Trent's more handsome. Well, we go ahead and throw him in the Milli Vanilli category. So Milli and Vanilli right here. This dude right here is on the show just to push the narrative, to create suspicion. We don't know. I ain't saying he did something, but we don't know. I mean, that's why I just want the evidence. I just want it to all come out. But I guarantee you, if all of this stuff comes out and exonerates Trump, that won't be enough. They'll come up with something else. Oh, well, he probably must have deleted his name. Did he redact himself?
Oh, man. 10 years Trump has been in public life.
That's embarrassing.
It is an IQ test.
Oh, now here go the ref. Here goes the ref. You hear her? She's like, oh, yeah, Scott made a good point and brought in a whole bunch of logic and made Milli Vanilli look stupid because, yeah, you do sound stupid. If you're that naive to believe that Trump had that big fat eyesore laying out there. Yeah, you're telling me Trump had this stuff lingering, but yet he was out there talking about Bill Clinton possibly could get in trouble and the other people got some trouble. You don't think they'd have been like, and you do too. So now he's playing dumb, playing ignorant. I just want to know. I just want to get to the bottom. And then the ref comes in because Scott made too much sense. And watch her try to go ahead and talk over Scott like she always does.
For 10 years, we haven't heard any names. So you really think that no one's involved?
No, obviously Larry Summers was involved.
So you ain't let him finish? You asked him the question, Abby, but when he start ripping off these names that we know are involved, when he starts ripping off the names of those Democrats, what do you do? So hoping that you can just blot out his voice or what his point is and all that stuff so your people can't hear it and say, wow, there are people that we know that are involved, but it ain't Trump. So before he even gets a name out. So
involved.
You're suggesting that if someone...
A few moments later.
Just real quick, I just want to bring it back to something that just happened. I feel like I just heard Scott call into question this black man's intelligence with the IQ test. I feel like I heard that.
I don't believe you people.
What do you mean, you people?
What do you mean, you people? I think what means is you people.
Look at his eyes, man.
Look at those beady white devil eyes, man. That's what just happened. That dude just straight came out with some racism out of nowhere. What I think I heard is the Scott just questioned. So you can't question this black man's intelligence, right? You hear this crap. Now see, once again, this is a reason why I despise. They use the worst, stinking, dirtiest tactics ever. They go ahead and weaponize their blackness and the history of racism to bubble wrap and cover up their stupidity, their corruption, their hypocrisy, all of that. They use that. And so now this dude gonna try to bully Scott, and Scott ain't having it. So let's get back to this dude rocking that chia pet on top of his hair. Because I don't know where he's going with this.
I just want to bring it back to something that just happened. I feel like I just heard Scott call into question this black.
No, I feel like you were riding on a motorcycle doing about 200 with no helmet on as your hair is blowing in the wind. What is that? Somebody go ahead and get me some clippers to cut that chia pet off of that head right there. That taco meat is sitting on top of that head right there. Somebody go get me some buns so I can get that hamburger meat off of his head and make me a sandwich. That's what needs to happen. Comb that mess, pick it, do something. Look like somebody just threw it on top of your head. There you go. There's hair. You ain't gonna shape it or form. Nope. Just do hair on top of your head. Look like every strand on his head is just doing whatever it want to do. So anyway, I'm sorry. Let me calm down. I got a lot of material to go over, but the man with the chia pet on the head, he made me mad. So so now here he is. I feel
black man's intelligence with the IQ test. I feel like I heard that.
I don't believe you people.
What do you mean, you people?
I love this movie.
What do you mean?
No, man. Look at the beady white devil eyes.
What Chuck means is you
No,
people.
look at his eyes, man.
Look at his eyes, man.
Look at that beady white eyes.
Yep, that is just how these people are. Seeing racism and everything. So Scott can't even joke with this guy and say, come on, man, this is an IQ test. IQ test. Scott can't do that because, see, what it really is Scott's questioning this black man's intelligence. Well, what if the black man is stupid? Like this guy, just about to come in and try to suggest some propaganda.
I just want to say something.
It's ridiculous. You want to make it racial? Go ahead, but it's ridiculous.
Well, I mean, I think that
we know each other. We're friends. I know this man. He's a smart guy, and we're having a debate. We're having a debate.
We're having a debate.
We don't even know each other, but we do.
this actually.
Yeah, we're having a debate. This guy's a friend of mine. And here you are coming in, sticking your big fat nose where it don't belong, trying to suggest that I'm belittling this black man right here because you feel like you just heard some racism. See, this is stuff that will get you beat up. This is the stuff that makes folks to say, hold on, what are you trying to call me here? See, you sticking your nose in this, and now you slide in a motive that is questioning my integrity, my character. You're suggesting that I'm belittling this guy just because he's black. So now I got to go ahead and give you a back smack because you questioning whether I'm asking this because he's black. This is the stuff that'll make folks want to grab you up under the collar when you are using these stinking dirty tactics and accusations. So here's Scott. Scott already like, oh, here we go.
Actually relates back to the topic that we're having, Scott. There is a perception. You're sitting here with so much confidence without seeing all of the documents that Donald Trump is innocent. There is a presumption of guilt that a black man walks around the United States.
Oh, God.
Here we go.
You're right.
And I have been watching Donald Trump navigate this situation with the presumption of innocence that is never afforded to us.
It's never afforded to us. Now, you see him up there? With that hair like this, dang on forehead starting way out here. And I'm going, dude, how about you pull a little bit of it up here? Cover up the forehead. Why is it sitting on the back of your head? Did somebody do that to you on purpose? If I was on the set, man, I'd be like, dude, who did that to you? Let's go get him. Nobody did this. I did this. You did that? You did that to yourself? Man, dude, I thought some people did that. I thought they held you down and did that to you. I was ready to posse up. So now, guy with the hair sitting on the back of his head is talking about something about black men aren't afforded.
Right? This is the same guy that is trailing 29 rape allegations. And we have videos of him saying things like, grab him by the you-know-what. Just the very fact that he's connected, documented, connected to the country's most...
Look at him. He think he's deep. But I see him as very gentle. I see him as low T. And look, he's trying to get deep. He's the same guy. I mean, the very, I can't stand these extra over-the-top pro-black dudes that they bring on. Power to the people brothers that are there to do nothing but race bait and make up stuff.
Egregious pedophile, enough. That alone is enough for us to ask questions about it. It's a disqualifying factor for leadership. So I just don't know why you're so fervent right now, saying that I know for a fact he has nothing. Can we see the files and make that decision?
Yeah, you just made it for us. Man, you just ripped off All the reasons why folks should be questioning Trump's integrity. Yeah, talk about, can we see the files? Well, you just went ahead, litigated it right there without the files. I thought all of these accusations, nobody proven. Yeah, all of these women that the Democrats drug up to God. That Trump one time, he had looked at me funny, and I felt like he undressed me with his eyeballs. Therefore, I feel violated. And I would like some money for that too. All of those mysterious women who didn't exist until he ran against the Democrats. Yeah, I'm a little concerned about those accusations. And then you sit back and suggest that he's a pedo. Boy, I tell you, I would love to drive all the way down there to that studio and take one of the biggest pieces of paper with a lawsuit and slap it on that big forehead. I would lick that paper and be like, you know what? I'm glad your hairline starts right here, because I'm going to stick that paper right on that big 8 head of yours as you sitting back talking about the very fact. Unbelievable. So wait. You think that's it? You think that's the only reason why we should despise the Democrats even more? Well, here we go, guys. Y'all ready for this? They're conspirators. There you go. Hey, watch these folks, the real people behind the whole Jeffrey Epstein saga, get busted, conspiring with other dirtbags to take Trump down.
And I got a text from Jeffrey Epstein.
Oh, what?
Who at the time was my constituent, who was not public knowledge at that time that he was under federal investigation.
Oh, you hear that? That's the chick that got busted texting the guy who they're trying to say Donald Trump was involved with. Now, I can't believe it. There's a picture with him on it. But this chick was texting him. Isn't that odd? That's like me. All right, at the time, I got a text from Jeffrey Dahmer. He was my constituent. At that point, he had already been in prison for eating people. But nonetheless, I took his text just because I wanted to get dirt on Donald Trump. I wanted to go ahead and suggest that maybe Donald Trump was eating people. Maybe he was eating people while overlooking the person that really ate the people. So now here she is. Talking about, I got a text from him. Did you get a text from him, or did you send a text to him?
And who is sharing information with me.
Oh, why?
Democrat who's been on defense.
What information? Why was Jeffrey Epstein texting you and giving you information? Why would Jeffrey Epstein have your personal number? I mean, out of all the folks who support my channel, give money, very few of them, if it's necessary, get my direct number. You know what I'm saying? The gentleman who talked about giving me the laptop, I gave him my direct number. But on an average, if somebody donate, you don't say, all right, here's my personal number, now we're friends, text me anytime. You don't do that. If someone lives in your district, then why don't everybody in your district have your personal number? Why in the world does Jeffrey Epstein get privileges to you and access to you? Why don't everybody? So now here she is, and these dumb Democrats going to come out and try to defend this chick because she was about to get censored, and now they're on the run with the Jeffrey Epstein saga because one of their own was colluding with Jeffrey Epstein to try to go ahead and destroy Trump like they always do.
For Jeffrey Epstein is Stacey Plaskett.
Y'all ready for some dumbness?
Islands. She was texting with Jeffrey Epstein the day of Michael Cohen's hearing. Her questions pretty closely followed the text messages between the two of them to ask about Rotograph, Trump's longtime assistant. You were defending her today, or in recent days, yesterday, and you talked about Republicans taking money from a Jeffrey Epstein. Here's what you said.
A Jeffrey Epstein.
Who also took money from somebody named Jeffrey.
No, you took some hair off that horse. Dang on it. That's what you did. Talking about somebody who also took some money off of. Yeah, you need to go back and apologize to that pony for rocking his hair. But now you're talking about taking money from Jeffrey Epstein to all these people. Now see, this is the stuff that blindsides them. Yeah, they're lazy. They don't do research. They don't have facts. They just come out half-cocked, thinking that they could take advantage of their dumb constituents, which they are, The fact that they're in office, that proves it all. But they come out there and they think I'm going to get me a soundbite because I'm sassy and I'm like, oh, since y'all want to play the game, shoot, I got something for y'all. Yeah, let's go through the list of people who also took money from a Jeffrey Epstein.
Jeffrey Epstein, as I had my team dig in very quickly.
Very quickly.
Mitt Romney, the NRCC.
All rhinos.
Lee Zeldin. George Bush. Win Red. McCain Palin. Rick Lazio.
Oh, yeah.
You mentioned Lee Zeldin there. He's now a cabinet secretary. He responded and said it was actually Dr. Jeffrey Epstein.
Thank you. Somebody said they just subbed. Thank you so much. Hey, make sure you turn them notifications on to all because they will stick it to you. Yeah, you be sitting there like, man, I ain't heard from this dude since the first time I watched him. Because, YouTube. But yeah, y'all hear that? Now, the Crockett, the Ratchet is on the hook. The Ratchet jumped out over those skis talking about since y'all want to play that game, I also know who got some money from a Jeffrey Epstein. Now she's about to get the major pain. One, don't you feel dumb?
Jeffrey Epstein, who's a doctor, doesn't have any relation to the convicted sex trafficker. Unfortunate for that doctor, but that is who donated to a prior campaign of his. Do you want to correct the record on the people?
I never said that it was that Jeffrey Epstein.
Because see, I got too much pride to say I was wrong. That's what it is. Yeah, I never said it was that Jeffrey Epstein. Why'd you bring up Jeffrey Epstein anyway? Are you just blanketly talking about anybody named Jeffrey Epstein you can't accept money from? What's the relevance of bringing up, Jeffrey Epstein if it wasn't that Jeffrey Epstein? Hey, if there's another Kev from Kevin's Corner out there and this dude is, a serial killer or something, you better distinguish that. You better make sure you're like, all right, I'm talking about the serial killer version, not the one who does commentary and destroys the Democrats, okay? Even though we hate them just as much. So now here she is. Instead of owning up to her stupidity, her arrogance, her ghetto-ness, she's going to sit back. I'll just stand Jeffrey Epstein's in general. See, now, if I question your intelligence, then all of a sudden I'm the bad guy. All of a sudden I feel you're questioning the intelligence of a black woman. So let's go ahead and hear her make matters worse.
Just so that people understand, when you make a donation, your picture is not there. And because they decided to spring this on us in real time, I wanted the Republicans to think about what could potentially happen because I knew that they didn't even try to go through the FEC. So my team, what they did is they Googled. And that is specifically why I said a Jeffrey Epstein. Unlike Republicans, I at least don't go out and just tell lies.
What? You're telling one right now? Fascinating. Can you believe the horsehair right there is lying? So now here she is. But you know what? I just wanted the Republicans to know what could happen. No. You were not presenting that in the context of this could happen. You were presenting it as a fact with arrogance and vitriol and nastiness, just like the Democrat that you are. Since y'all want to play the game, we'll expose everybody. No, you weren't out there trying to talk about, so now this could happen. And I'm saying, are you kidding me? See, now you want to get up here and try to backtrack, just like you had to do the other day when they were asking you about those redacted names, because, you was out there pushing the narrative that Trump spent some time in the room with somebody until you found out it was Virginia. See, the one who exonerated Trump said he'd never do nothing. But before you figured that out, you jump out there. I don't know why the names was redacted anyway. I don't know why Republicans did that anyway. Why would you redact the name of somebody who already dead? No, Democrats did that. Yeah, I know. Because see, the most important thing is to make sure that the victims are protected. And I'm going, they're making you look dumb. You know it's bad when CNN is making you look dumb. So now she digs a dumbness, a big fat ditch of dumbness. She's like, I'm going to go ahead and dig me a ditch of dumbness.
Because it was not the same one, that's fine. But when Lee Zeldin had something to say, all he had to say was it was a different Jeffrey Epstein. He admitted that he did receive donations from a Jeffrey Epstein, so at least I wasn't trying to mislead people. Now,
Do you hear this shite? Does this shite fly? Unreal. Boy, I tell you, man. I guess Democrat voters, they like eating that shite because these folks sure be shoveling shite. So she just straight up came out talking about something. He admitted that he did take money from a Jeffrey Epstein. He only admitted that because he knew you accused him of taking money from the ratchet stinking pedo Jeffrey Epstein. No other reason why he would have to come out and clarify that. It's because you were accusing him, just like you accused McCain, and Megan had to come out and say, my dad did not receive money from this dude. But because Democrats are lazy and they are evil and they bite first before they figure out, wait a minute, what this person do? And I'm an attack dog. I'm just going to bite and not ask questions. And then they find out this stuff happens. They get embarrassed like this chick, if it is possible to embarrass her. Because see, people like this need to get punished by the people. That's the problem. They get on these shows, they lie, they get busted, all of that stuff. And then folks support them. Folks on TikTok, we love Jasmine. Folks kissing her nasty, stinking, wicked witch of the West feet.
I dug in to find out who this doctor is. I have not. So I will
then why would you
trust
get
and
out
take
there
what he says is that it wasn't that Jeffrey Epstein, but I was not attempting to mislead anybody. I literally had maybe 20 minutes before I had to do that debate.
Yeah, you were trying to defend your ratchet buddy, your other corrupt comrade who was texting Jeffrey Epstein. Now watch her go ahead and stick that nasty, wicked witch of the West foot down her throat when she tries to defend her friend.
People might see that say, well, you're trying to make it sound like he took money from
I did not know.
a registered sex offender.
No, but I literally
That's what
did
you was
not
trying
know.
to do.
When you search,
Then why get up there and say it?
And that's what I had my team to do. I texted them and I said, listen, we're going up. They are saying that she took donations.
Right, but someone might say, well, your team should have done the homework to make sure it wasn't the convicted sex offender.
What? Caitlin? Tread lightly. You're talking to a strong, intelligent, successful black woman. Power to the people. You're not allowed to ask her follow-up questions or expose how foul she is. You better tread lightly, okay? So normally, CNN is, of course, the fake news network, which they still are. Don't get it twisted. But maybe they're trying to avoid a potential lawsuit too. Maybe they're trying to show a very vague effort of trying to pretend to be bipartisan because they know that we all are smart enough to realize just how evil and deceitful these Democrats are, to the point where it's like, man, we can't even overlook this one. You didn't do no research. Now I got to come out and embarrass you.
Within 20 minutes, you could not find that out, not from just doing a quick search on FEC.
Then why put it out? See, if you can't find it out, why put it out? Why jump the shark? You sitting back, I don't care if this is accurate data or not. I'm going to get up here with a smart mouth and a nasty attitude thinking I'm going ahead and exposing folks. Why put it out if you can't find it out? But that ain't their style. Remember?
So, number one, I made sure that I was clear that it was a Jeffrey Epstein.
But I
never said that it was specifically that Jeffrey Epstein.
I'm sure that's what you were thinking when you were saying all of that, right? I'm making sure I say is that, hey, Jeffrey, why didn't you make that clear when you were up there saying that? Why didn't you say, hey, all you Republicans, y'all need to realize this could happen to y'all too? I mean, there could be some of y'all who accepted money from a person that happened to be named Jeffrey Epstein, but it doesn't mean it's him. Why don't you clarify all of that? Yeah, you spewed that trash out with confidence. See, and that's why it looks like your brains is on the outside of your head with that hairstyle sitting up there. Looks like a whole bunch of wasted brains sitting outside the skull. No wonder you're dumb. Let's continue.
Because I knew that we would need more time to really dig in.
Well, Stacey Plaskett was texting the Jeffrey Epstein that we're talking about. You voted against the censure for her to remove her from her committees. You know, we pressed the minority leader, Hakeem Jeffries, on this last night. Maybe you don't think she should be removed from her committees. But why do so many Democrats seem unwilling to say it's inappropriate to be texting with a registered sex offender about what you're going to ask a witness at a congressional hearing?
Because they're hypocrites. They're evil. They're disgusting. That's why I say you cannot despise the Democrats enough. Yeah, they don't care if they get busted red-handed. They don't care if their friends get busted red-handed. They don't care if the evidence is clear. If they wouldn't come out and condemn and denounce that weasel that ran for the DA up there in Virginia that was out here talking about murdering Republicans, you think they're going to denounce her? Yeah, I mean, do you think, are you kidding me? I mean, these folks rub elbows with some of the most corrupt, evil people, and they know it. And they ain't saying nothing. They know nasty Pelosi's nasty, and she's laundering money and using all of her inside connections. They don't care. Yeah, they don't condemn their own, regardless. But yet they'll tell you every 5 seconds, you better denounce which we're going to get an example of that in a minute, because now they all want everybody to denounce Trump for something he said.
I'm not going to necessarily say that that's the case. Now, this is somebody that was a former prosecutor. Now, I haven't sat down and talked about all the specifics of why Stacey was doing what she was doing. I know that when she got up and she spoke, she talked about the fact that this is one of her constituents. At the end of the day, what I know of prosecutors is that they are typically talking to co-defendants. They are typically talking to the people that have the best information. And what you had was you had the former attorney for the president that was sitting there. And honestly, we knew, or she knew, or at least Jeffrey Epstein presented that he was very cozy with the president. He had more information, registered sex offender or not. The bigger question is...
He did? By just putting a name out there? A lady's name? That's more information? Are you kidding me? So let me understand. He was a defendant? Jeffrey Epstein had nothing to do with Donald Trump. Nothing to do with him. He wasn't a part of that case, that hearing. Nothing. Yeah, he was just there to collude with your stinking nasty partner who you're defending. That's all he was there for. Because they're on the same squad. Evil is evil, man. They don't care that you're a little more evil than we are. They don't care that your evilness got exposed. They'll overlook all of that evil to collude with you to get Trump. So now here she is trying to make excuses for evil. And I'm going, evil can't excuse evil. You're evil, so is she. Evil can't make an excuse for itself. Yeah, an outside source has to determine that it's evil. And that's why you're here at Kevin's Corner. Because I'm here. I'm that outside source. We're looking at evil that is defending evil. Let's continue as she sits back. And I thought she ain't do nothing. That she was just wanting the information. What were you going to use that information for? Why? Huh? Yeah, you weren't looking for truth. You were looking for gossip. And you were looking for a way to try to stick it to Trump. That's why she wanted Jeffrey Epstein to give her some intel.
Why is it that the president was so cozy with a registered sex offender even after he ultimately ended up with some of his convictions?
And why is it that Stacey gave her number out to that same guy after he had been indicted for all of that stuff and went to jail? Huh? Why is it that that guy got her direct line and she got his? I don't know about you, but I wouldn't want a phone number of a guy like Jeffrey Epstein. I would tell that dude, don't call me no more, I'm blocking you. That's what I would do, like Trump did. Kicked him out, never talked to him again. See, so the question is, why are you keeping his number around? And why does that constituent get access to you? I want to be able to call up my representative directly. What? You're not giving out direct numbers to all of your constituents? I would have asked this chick, how many other of your constituents have your direct number? Have you given it out to everybody on the island? Or is it just Jeffrey? So let's continue.
Convictions, and seemingly he had absolutely been on the plane with him. We know about the birthday card. The bigger question is, why is the president of the United States not the one that is in the hot seat for his relationship, instead of us saying, oh, you know what, we're going to take her off of her committee because he decided to text her. Stacey didn't.
Oh, he decided to text her. So once again, Jasmine Ratchet, with her brain on the outside of her skull, is lying. Okay, watch this.
Initiate that chain. Jeffrey initiated that chain.
He did.
And she took the information.
Oh. But on that day that we're talking about, you initiated the text exchange at 7:55 in the morning.
Just like if somebody...
Man, Ratchet don't do no research before she slings out all those lies. No research whatsoever. So wait. You get out there and you start accusing Republicans of taking money from a Jeffrey Epstein, you claim. And then you get up, Jeffrey, I mean, she didn't initiate that. You didn't see this interview? You didn't stop for a second to ask her? You didn't stop for a minute before you get out there with confidence? She is extremely confidently ignorant right now, or just very deceptive. So here she is saying, Jeffrey initiated. No, that nasty chick decided to put her nasty crooked finger on her phone and said, how can I go ahead and ask my buddy Jeffrey Epstein, how could we stick it to Trump? Now that's a special kind of evil and vindictiveness when these folks were conspiring with Jeffrey Epstein to go ahead and destroy Trump. That shows the limits that they are willing to go through to destroy Trump. They will collude with Satan himself. If they could, oh, Prince of Darkness, come up amongst us and tell us how to defeat Orange Man Bad. I'm sure that's what they would do.
text me.
Yeah, but she was responding and saying, what are you talking about? Quick, I'm up next. And then her questions were about Rona. But do you think that was inappropriate? I mean, would you?
No, because I'm a Democrat.
Registered sex offender. About what you asked.
I honestly know that he had never been convicted of any federal crimes at that time.
But he had been in jail already.
He had been in jail.
Deal.
And my deal is this: the Republicans are constantly texting with a 34 count convicted felon.
Here we go. Here we go. When you're on the ropes, pivot to Trump. Don't stand in the middle of the ring and fight for your girl on the merits. Nah, start running around the ring, avoiding those punches that you're getting by saying, what if I punch? Go punch Trump. Go punch Trump. Now, that's the one we should be. All of these fake indictments that we put on him and all of this stuff, that's what y'all should be looking at.
So if it's okay for them to text him at any point in time, then I'm not going to say that that's right or wrong, especially to the extent that you're talking about kicking someone off their committee. Were they sexting? Was it a matter of her being involved in the pedophilia? No, it was nothing like that. She was trying to understand. Let's say Jeffrey Epstein said, you know what? I have these pictures, these salacious pictures, because I know that the president got down and did these things. Do you think that it would be inappropriate for her to ask about those things?
Well, wait a minute. Did Jeffrey do that? She texted him. Did Jeffrey to hit her up? Hey, Toots. I see you're in that hearing. I got some real hardcore evidence on Trump that I think I need to show you. Okay. That right now, I just waited all this time until you guys are doing a witch hunt on Trump just to bring up this evidence. So the question becomes, wait a minute. You didn't reach out to Jeffrey. Jeffrey didn't reach out to you with some evidence. You reached out to him and said, I need some dirt. I need you to hook me up real quick. Yeah, I can't even have time to vet who this person is. I can't even get her last name. I just got to get up there and use her first name. You know a lady named, that is how desperate they were to get Trump. Took a first name and just slung it out there, hoping that it stuck. These people are the worst. They are anti-American. These folks are the cause of all of the division, the chaos, the disorder. They are the worst in our society. And they're producing and duplicating folks out there manifesting this type of disgusting behavior, attitude, and ignorance all over the city, all over the dang on state and the country. Our country's so divided, I wonder how we'll ever all be able to live together. And they get on here and they do this dirt. They lie with impunity, and you can see the evil. You can see her just going from one lie to the next, one adjustment, one form of, diverting from addressing how corrupt her buddy is. She just won't admit it, won't tap out. Won't say, yeah, she was evil. And it just makes me look at them and say, it's real hard not to hate you people. It really is, man. But I sure enough can't despise you.
He said he had personal knowledge,
I think the context matters, but obviously it seemed like he was helping her.
Spoken to Stacey Plaskett after.
Here's another defender of her.
Can you confirm if there was a deal last
Hawker Jeffries.
resolution against Congressman Plaskett in exchange for not bringing a censure resolution?
We've made clear repeatedly we're not going to unilaterally disarm.
You're saying there was no deal?
I'm saying we will not unilaterally disarm.
Yeah, but did you talk to her?
Why didn't you speak to Stacey Plaskett?
I said I haven't spoken to her since the censure resolution went down.
No, about this text controversy.
I have not spoken to her since the censure resolution went down.
That's not what he asked you, Hawker. How many times he got to keep asking you? Okay, now you're going to go and say, you've been talking to, yeah, I did talk to her, but I can't tell you what we talked about.
Talked to her about this text conversation.
She and I have talked, and it's a private conversation that will remain private.
One thing he's clearly doing.
Here's another one that makes it easy to despise them. Here's the guy with the poodle on top of his head. Another example of hypocrisy. This bum.
Changing the subject from a different form of crime, which is child sex trafficking, which Jeffrey Epstein was a mastermind of. Donald Trump's name apparently appears throughout the Epstein file.
Oh, so that must mean Donald Trump is guilty because his name appeared throughout the Epstein trials. But yet, Epstein's lawyers, when they asked him directly, did Donald Trump, was he involved in any of this? Nope. See, this is the stuff they exclude because they're evil. We can see their intentions. It's clear as day. The problem is they're taking advantage of people who can't. And they're using this dirty stuff right here to divide the country, make Trump look bad, And I'm saying that's what makes y'all specially evil. I mean, it's like we're watching a movie and we know how evil the villains are, but the people in the movie don't. You don't see that this dude right here is evil? You don't see that? I mean, I'm trying to warn you. I'm screaming at the screen, going, don't go in there. He's setting you up. He's evil. And so watch this guy. Double speak.
They've arraigned a Democratic member for taking a phone call from her constituent.
That's all.
Jeffrey Epstein, in the middle of the hearing, I still don't see what the charge is. Where is the ethical transgression?
You see them excusing evil? Evil excusing evil. Okay? Taking a phone call. That's all it was. First of all, she didn't take a phone call. Secondly, she sent the text message to him. And yet they get out there and they downplay this. They defend this crap. They defend this evilness. And they act like we don't realize all of this stuff is efforts to destroy Trump. We will collude with whomever we have to. We'll conspire to do whatever we have to stop him. With Comey, we'll do it with Hillary, we'll do it with Barack, we'll do it with all of them. We'll conspire to destroy Trump, the American way, the Republican Party, conservatives that voted for Trump. We'll do it because we're just that evil, and you wonder why. I can say I despise these people. Look at this, look at these.
House has been highlighting an email that I'm sure you've seen today that Jeffrey Epstein got in 2013. They say it shows you were soliciting money and dinner from an Epstein. The email was not sent from you. It was sent from a political consulting firm called Dynamic SRG that says, we are thrilled to announce we are working with Congressman Hakeem Jeffries. Shoot us an email or give us a call if you would like to get involved.
Of course he would have. Must have fell through. Because if you're telling me, if Jeffrey Epstein would have dropped a cool $500,000 on this dude, he would have said, I don't want your stinking money, you pedo. No, like all Democrats, he would have taken it.
What's your response? Do you recall that email being sent to Jeffrey Epstein from that team?
Yeah, of course, I have no recollection of the email.
I'm sure you don't, Hawker.
With him, never met him, know nothing about him other than the extreme things that he's been convicted of doing. And that's why, I'm just strongly supportive of the effort. Backing the survivors to make sure that everything can come out.
And see, this is the stuff that make me say, if I didn't know your intentions and what you were doing, it might sound noble. But see, this what makes them specially evil. We know this cat do not give one piece of crap about those survivors and the truth to come out. Everything that they're doing with this Jeffrey Epstein narrative is all to get Trump. The women should be offended when any Democrat who could have released this crap under Biden now all of a sudden comes out talking about we just want to get to the truth. Those women should be offended. They should be asking these people, hold up. Wait a minute, you now want to get to the truth? Why didn't y'all want to get to the truth? I don't want to hear nothing from you. But once again, their evilness, unfortunately, woos a lot of people in our, society. The dumb ones, that is. But I see it. I'm going, this dude's evil. We know he cares nothing about these people or the illegal immigrants or the folks who didn't have a job for 40 days.
Whatever is in those Department of Justice files.
So you never got a donation from Jeffrey Epstein or anything like that?
Certainly not.
As well as those members in the Republican.
So let's hear from her. Let's hear from this chick right here, this wicked witch chick who's about to go ahead and explain away her nasty, stinking conspiring with one of the foulest people on the planet to go after Trump.
Republican Party who voted with the Democrats and those who tacitly voted with us by either voting present or not voting at all during the censure. And I'm hopeful that we can now get back to the work that we do in Congress.
That you weren't doing? So I'm hopeful now we can get off this subject and this topic because I'm in hot water. But I'm going to pretend that now that this is all over, I want to get back to doing the bidding, the will of the people, and that you're not doing anyway. Y'all aren't doing nothing for the people. Y'all had the people locked down for 40 days or so. But now all of a sudden, when you are on a bubble, now you want to get back to the people.
Rather than the political theater that has been happening.
The theater that you guys are responsible for. The clown show. All you clowns pulled up in a little teeny car, get out wobbling, talking about we now want to see the Jeffrey Epstein files. Trump must have been involved in it. And I'm going, y'all now all of a sudden want to jump on board with this thing? But wait a minute. Y'all been talking about how we should be focused on the Epstein files. Every time Trump say, let's get off this and let's talk about this. No, he's distracting because he wants to distract from the Epstein files. But when you get busted chatting with Epstein, now you want to get off the topic. Now you want to go ahead and get back to the people. Well, Trump been saying that forever. Why don't you echo that? That's my question. So this woman is a casualty of war. See, this is friendly fire. The Democrats wanted Epstein's stuff so bad that she got caught up in it.
The files have been released, which I have been in favor of all along. And let's let the victims get their justice and let us get to the work of Congress. We've been on over a 70-day paid time off. Democrats have been doing town halls, coming back to Congress. Republicans have been nowhere in sight. And the people of this country are in need of our support and of the work that needs to be done.
Now, you know they coached her. Get out there, address it lightly, and then try to start talking about the people, what the people need. Yeah, don't give them really too much time to pick what you're saying apart and question it. Pivot to the people. Now we want to get back to the people. The people. It's all about the people and stuff like that. Now, all of these survivors that she claims she wants to go ahead and get justice for and stuff like that should be saying, if I could, I'd kick dirt on you because you were questioning and asking the same guy that made me a victim, joking with him and everything. Yeah, so you can get Trump. You let down your morals. You let down the fact that all these victims and stuff like that. Why weren't you texting Epstein about who were the victims? Why weren't you going, why did you do that, you dirtbag? I want to know, why did you, who would arrested the people that you were blackmailing? You didn't do that? You just want to know about Trump. You stinking nasty thing, you. That's why it's easy to despise Democrats.
Done.
We know that Epstein had property in the Virgin Islands, right?
Yes.
What was your relationship with Epstein?
So Jeffrey Epstein was a constituent.
Oh, he's a constituent.
He was a resident of the Virgin Islands.
That's all he was.
Lived there, I guess, more than half of the year because he was registered there.
Over a half a year and you gave me your direct number? Why? I'm just wondering why don't all these Congress people give out their numbers to random constituents? Is that something that is normal? And he didn't just stumble across your phone number. You had to have given it to him, right? Yeah. You knew who he was when you gave that number out. And now you're sitting back talking about some. Now, if I know I got a dirtbag in my district, I'm going to make sure I don't give that dirtbag my phone number. But for some reason, she felt comfortable exchanging info with Jeffrey Epstein.
I had received donations from him.
And taking his money.
The last investigation came out, which was after this texting. I gave any donations that I previously received from him to women's organizations.
Because they made you give it back. That's why. Initially, you was like, oh, no, I don't want to give it. Oh, man, it's going to look bad if I don't. Okay, fine. To get this monkey off my back. See, that's what makes them specially evil. See, this woman is up here trying to be calm, cool, collective, trying to pretend to be sincere, and we see through it. I'm looking at her and I see pure 100% uncut evil. That's why I'm going, if y'all weren't so evil, then maybe it might be kind of hard to despise you like I do. But I'm listening to you and I'm going, you are one stinking lying evil chick talking about that, my sincere, I was going to want to get the money back. As soon as I found out.
And did not have any contact with him. But like many constituents, individuals get your phone number.
They do?
They text you about issues. They speak with you. I have spoken with him about issues that are relevant, things that are going on in the Virgin Islands.
Why? Do you need to consult with Jeffrey Epstein about what's going on in the Virgin Islands? Is that normal? Why not just have a town hall meeting? And he shows up and just asks questions. But for some reason, you value Jeffrey's opinion. Thanks for calling, Jeff. You got a problem with the way these reefs and stuff are growing? Do you think it needs to be groomed a little around here? Yes, I do. All right, I'll take that in consideration. Now, imagine if every congressperson did that. Your phone would be blown off the hook. So something made you give Epstein access to you, because if that's the case, then everybody should have had access to you. That should be standard. Thank you for electing me. Here's my personal phone number to anyone who wants to call and suggest things, and I might just bounce ideas off of you. Your phone would be blown off the hook. And she is feeding this crap to us on this show, and I'm listening to it, and I'm going, you think I'm stupid, and you think I cannot see how absolutely evil you are, how corrupt. You don't even listen to yourself. It doesn't make sense what you're saying. You're allowing Epstein to call you and complain about what's going on in the Virgin Islands. Unbelievable, man. But yet she's going down with the ship. She ain't gonna just tap out.
And elsewhere around the country.
But on that day that we're talking about, you initiated the text exchange at 7:55 in the morning. So why were you even texting with Epstein at the time? He was a known sex offender then.
Yes, because I'm evil and I hate Trump more than him. That's what it comes down to. I hate Trump more than him. And I really don't hate him. It's just he got busted. So I got to pretend to hate him. Just like all the rest of the Democrats that were involved with him. Now all of a sudden, the one guy that had to step down, I feel bad about my behavior. I shouldn't have been. And all of that. And I'm going, no. Y'all are just saying, oh, crap, we got busted. If he was still alive and never would have got busted with this ring, they all would still be kicking it with him. They all would still be taking his money. You know, even if they knew about it, they'd still be like, hey, I don't care, man. Whatever he's doing on the side, it's up to him. As long as he's giving me money and stuff like that. So now she got to answer this very obvious question. Like, yeah, why were you texting him 7 in the morning to get dirt?
Sure. You know, I explain to people.
You ready for this lie?
I've been a prosecutor for many years. And there are a lot of people who have information that are not your friends. That you use to get information to get at the truth.
Yeah. So, in other words, you didn't know Jeffrey Epstein had any information about Trump that you could have used. See? But for some reason, you decide, well, even though he's not come to me and said, hey, I want to let you know about Trump and stuff, you decide I'm going to text him and ask him some stuff. Yeah, I'm just going to text him and be like, hey, you got any dirt on Trump? I'm just, you know. Yeah, you're not looking for real truth. You're not looking for evidence. You don't even have a predicate. You're just fishing for something to stick it to Trump. And you're fishing with a nasty worm. Fish don't want that maggot. But you do. You use that maggot to try to get dirt on Trump. Unbelievable. That's why I despise these people.
This was 7 years ago, and people need to understand this was a huge hearing that was taking place with Michael Cohen.
It was huge because people going after Trump.
To talk about monies that he had with the hush money, potential hush money that had been paid to Stormy Daniels to keep her quiet about the allegations against Trump.
And so instead of having real evidence and stuff like that, you was going to rely on Jeffrey Epstein to feed you some garbage. And it didn't even lead to anything. See? Yeah, you dirtied yourself for nothing. You soiled your pants for nothing. Now you got to walk around with the duck walk because you got doo-doo in your pants. Yeah, that's right. And we all know it. We can smell it. I don't care how you try to go ahead and chassé across the floor. I'm going, that chick got doo-doo in her pants. So now she's caught with dookie in her pants for nothing.
Entering a hearing, lots of people were texting me. Lots of people were giving me information.
Are you kidding me?
And
lots of people were texting me. Well, how many of those people you text? Because see, you text him. In the midst of everybody else texting you, he was like, hold on, y'all. I got to text one of my friends for some info. Hey, Jeffrey, good morning. You got some dirt on Trump and some more donations for me. See how stinking and evil these people are? Let's continue.
I find it really interesting and almost rich that the Washington Post took 30 seconds, one set of question line that I did, and say that Epstein was directing me.
Hey, that's enough, according to you guys. Hey, Trump was in a picture with Epstein. Therefore, that's enough to say Trump was involved with all of the... But for some reason, though, y'all don't want to go ahead and look into Bill Clinton and all of those trips. Not all of them times he was on the leader. Y'all don't even mention that. Don't even mention it.
As to what to question Michael Cohen. I have 5 minutes of questioning. I had a lot of questions, 20 years of experience that I had at the time, along with other information I was getting from many sources.
Yeah, so you decided, though, to interrupt all those many sources trying to feed your information. Apparently, none of those sources were good enough. So you decided to reach out to somebody dirty because you thought you can get some dirt on Donald Trump. And now you're sitting here peddling this garbage to us. and expecting us to go, yeah, that sounds believable. That sounds right. I mean, maybe her intentions were sincere. Unreal.
About issues that should have been raised. And I also want to say that the issues that I raised in that hearing related to individuals who were closest to the president and who could know about money has never been looked into.
Because there was nothing to find. See, so you wasted your shot. You little Dalmatian sitting on there with all them polka dots. What are you doing? Dang on it. So let's go ahead and see how she dismounts, because for some reason CNN ain't gonna let her off the hook, y'all.
Right, we have the full transcript right here, but no doubt you have an impressive resume, right? You're a former federal prosecutor.
No, don't jap her up. Don't jap her up just because she's a black woman. Don't be scared to dig into her. If she was a conservative, you would be giving it to her. You wouldn't be, I just want to go ahead and let you know, though you're smart, you're intelligent, you're a proud black woman, you're successful, but I got to kind of ask you something that I'm going, no, man, go in on her.
You were an impeachment manager. But yes or no, if Epstein had not brought up Rona to you in that text, would you have asked Michael Cohen about her independently?
Probably not. I asked about 3 other individuals as well. Everyone knew, other people knew that this woman had been the president's assistant. I talked about other individuals who were also close to him that other people had given me information about, that I'd found other information about.
But you decided to reach out to one of the most evil people on the planet. And what's ironic about this is the same evil man that you reached out to, that you guys are trying to pin Trump to. That's what shows just how stupid and blindsided these evil folks are. They're not even sitting back going, man, some of us might be implicated in this. They're that evil. So now she's talking about all the other people she reached out to, but why Jeffrey then? Why didn't you rely on all these other people that were not doing what he did?
And there were other issues that I talked with him about as well.
Other issues like what?
That I brought up during that time.
Right. Like
so
what?
As a prosecutor, as an investigator, you glean information, get information where you can. Some of it is relevant, some of it is not, and you put it all together.
Why would you want to have any questions or conversations with Jeffrey Epstein outside of why did you do it, dirtbag? Outside of we want to know more names of people that you blackmailed. Those are the only questions you should have for Jeffrey Epstein. Yeah, you talking about that. I had another question for you. Well, how is your day, Jeffrey? Is it warm down there? I'll be back around that. This woman's disgusting. And then she's feeding these people this shite on this network here as they're sitting back. But, you're a smart person, you're black. But why did you?
And you ask the questions.
And I understand you're saying, look, he was a constituent, right? And whether or not they're good or bad, you're just trying to get information to get to the truth. But at this...
No. I don't understand that. Don't try to act like you understand that stupidity. Don't dummy it down. I'm saying I don't understand why one of your constituents would have your direct number and why you would feel that constituent has dirt on the president. Right now, if my congressman called me up, I'd be like, wait a minute. Hold on, y'all. I got a phone call saying, hello? Yes, this is your local congressman. Yeah, why are you calling me? I just want to know, you got any dirt on Donald Trump? Why would I have to, man, that's what would happen. Is that normal? Do you call up random constituents and ask them, hey, Dad, you know anything about Donald Trump? You did that because you're evil. You're stinking, and you thought you can use a dirty person to dirty up somebody who's not dirty. That's what it is.
Time. This was happening after he had already pleaded guilty to state prostitution charges. And then there was that Miami Herald article that came out in 2018 detailing how widespread the sexual abuse was, interviewing 80 women who said that he sexually abused her. So, abused them, I should say. So I'm wondering, as you look back, do you think that it was an error in judgment to be communicating with him at all? Do you have any regrets?
No, because Democrats never get up there and say, my bad. It got to be something serious. They have to be busted red-handed to get up there and give a very soft apology. So now, do you think now all she got to do is just say, yeah, I probably shouldn't have. But she's too evil for that. Yeah, that's what it is. She's like, you know what? I'm 100% uncut evil. I'm going to sit up here and blow right through what this lady just said and say this.
Listen, I think Jeffrey Epstein is a reprehensible person.
You're not answering the question.
Disgusting.
Then the first question is, why did you text him? There it is. She just asked you, do you think that was a lapse in judgment? And your opening statement is, I think he's a reprehensible person. Then I decided to wake up. He probably was asleep. Oh, what the heck? Who's texting me this early? I thought, what do you want? I dirt on Donald Trump. So, yeah, he's reprehensible, y'all. But I text him for info for Trump because Trump's worse than him.
I lived in a house during childhood.
Oh, yeah. Bring up a relatable story.
Abused by her dad.
Here we go.
And I know the effect that had on her as well as us.
Well, then you shouldn't have been texting the grand poobah of that. He is the grand poobah of this mess that you're talking about. I know how that is because my mother. Now, do you think I would be going ahead and texting somebody who I'm going, man, I got a personal connection. I hate this because I personally experienced it. And then this dude is the embodiment of it. But I will let all of that hatred aside. I'll overlook all of his evilness. I will overlook all of the victims so I can get dirt on Trump. And then I get my nasty butt up here on this TV and try to justify it instead of just saying, yeah, that was a bad call, Ripley. Bad call.
As her family. And so I understand what the victims are going through.
No, you don't.
And I want them to get their their justice, their peace out of this.
After I get some dirt on Trump, though. See, there it is. Yeah, I want her to get there at that part. Only now, though. Only now. Yeah, you weren't worried about all of that when you were texting me, though. You weren't there in Congress like, by the way, we need to get to the bottom of these Epstein files so we can get justice. That's why these girls, these women, should be disgusted with these Democrats. They can't see what they're up to. Are you kidding me? Don't jump on board trying to help me out with bad intentions because you don't really care about me. You're trying to go after Trump. You care nothing about me.
I believe that Jeffrey Epstein had information and I was going to get information
at any cost.
To get at the truth.
And what made you believe that? That's my question. What made you, just through osmosis? You were just sitting there. Have you been communicating with Jeffrey enough to even think that he might have dirt on Trump? I mean, I would think you got a pretty cozy relationship with him if you're okay with texting him in the morning, asking him some questions about Trump. If I don't know you very well and you're just a constituent, I'm not going to text you, hey, I know we just met, talked maybe once or for about 2 minutes or so, but I'm wondering, you got any dirt on Trump? This is how evil they are. And how much they display this evil right in our face and think we're not supposed to recognize it and call it out. But the evil don't stop here, y'all. Yeah, you want to really see? You want to really see why you cannot despise these people enough? It's coming.
Having a friendship with him is not something that I would deem to have. And so I'm just looking forward. I'm moving forward.
Yeah, because I'm busted.
I think that that's what we as American people should do.
Yeah, right now. Right now. See, I would ask her right there, are we moving forward for this witch hunt with Trump trying to pin him to Epstein? Huh? Are you saying, yeah, we all need to just drop this and go ahead and focus on for the people? No, you're not saying that? Yeah, you're saying just move on from me. That's what you're saying. I'm moving forward. Leave me. Get off my back. Okay? Get off my back. Yeah, and get on Trump's back. Yeah, we don't want to move forward from that, though. Yeah, because we don't want him distracted from the Epstein files, but I'm about to distract from the Epstein files and talk about some, I want to move on for the people. It's time to move on because I'm busted.
Move forward. If individuals are not involved in illegal activity, extending his criminal enterprise or his financial enterprise or all of those things, I think that we need to look at what people are doing moving forward.
Except for if it's Trump. Because Trump was never implicated in none of that. Nobody said anything that Trump did was bad. But yet, all of a sudden now, you don't want to move forward with him. You want to keep digging. You want to make a problem that ain't a problem. You want to find something. That's why you text Jeffrey. You were fishing. It was a fishing expedition, but you were picking up dirty, stinking catfish from the bottom. So now, the evil continues. Yes, we're going to close the chapter of why you cannot despise the Democrat Party enough.
Wait, let me just better understand that. What is that point? Because at the time he was a known sex offender and it had been detailed all the sexual abuse.
There are a lot of people who have done a lot of crimes.
Yeah, a lot.
And as a prosecutor, you get information from people where you can.
Well, did you get it? Did you get it? That's my question. You went fishing for it. You went to him. Yeah, man. And then we close with this. And this right here made me almost turn green. I know I'm going a little long. But bear with me. First of all, I'm shocked that we got Well, 160 likes and 147 people watching in the middle of the day. But I'm cool with that, okay? And I ain't got to work tonight. So now this right here, when I saw this, I was like, dun, 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 dun. That is why I despise these people. Look at this.
I'm Senator Alyssa Slotkin.
Senator Mark Kelly. Representative Chris Deluzio.
Congresswoman Maggie Goodland.
And?
Representative Chrissy Houlihan.
Congressman Jason Crow. I was a captain in the United States Navy.
Former CIA officer.
Former Navy. Former paratrooper.
Where y'all going with this?
Former intelligence officer. Former Air Force.
We want to speak directly to members of the military.
And the intelligence.
What? To tell them how proud you are of them? To tell them how you support them for their sacrifice? To tell them I'm sorry for making you guys who didn't want to get that shot get the shot? That's what you want to speak to them about? Huh? Or you want to speak to them about this?
Intelligence community
Who take risks each day to keep Americans safe.
We know you are under enormous stress and
From
pressure
what?
right now.
From what?
Americans trust their military.
But that trust is at risk. This administration is pitting our uniformed military
And intelligence community professionals
against American citizens.
Just straight come out and lie. Straight came out and lied. This is the stuff that makes me want to go buck wild on these people right here. This administration. So you are attacking Trump by trying to divide the military, basically inciting a coup. You're lying about Trump using the military to attack American citizens. Show me that. That's what I want to see. Yeah, you're talking about your precious illegal immigrants. So right off grip, the whole motive of this is riddled with evil and lies. You're lying about Trump using our military to attack American citizens. I know the military is like, what? Really? We are? I didn't know that. That I haven't got that order. These people are 100% evil, man.
You mother animals!
Like us.
That's how I feel. Watching this makes me feel like that chick right there. When she was talking about all of them folks who cheered for Charlie Kirk's death, she meant it. It came from the gut. You animals. When you tried to weaponize the military against the president, I ain't got no love for you, man. I'm like, yo, these people need to go down.
You all swore an oath.
to protect and defend this Constitution.
Right now, the threats to our Constitution aren't just coming from abroad, but from right here at home.
As they are trying to subvert it, as they are trying to undermine one of the fundamental parts of our Constitution. The military is under the governance and the command of the commander-in-chief. And you stinking evil people are up here trying to undermine that, sow doubt, and make them second think lawful commands and orders. And you're going to sit back and talk about something I thought we were just saying it because we were just saying, watch what they say. Here, see, here's the I'm a lie to try to get at it because I know what we're doing is so evil and so foul and so corrupt. We got to give ourselves an outlet to say, well, we didn't mean that.
Our laws are clear. You can refuse illegal orders.
You can refuse illegal orders.
You must refuse illegal orders.
No one has to carry out orders that violate the law or our Constitution.
You liberal, progressive, deranged king animals.
We know this is hard and that it's a difficult time to be a public servant.
But whether you're serving in the CIA,
The Army, or Navy,
the Air Force,
your vigilance is critical.
and know that we have your back.
Because now, more than ever,
The American people need you. We need you to stand up for our laws.
our Constitution and who we are as Americans. Don't give up. Don't give up. Don't give up.
Don't give up the ship.
You see this shite? Don't give up the shite, they should have said.
Right now, we're president.
That's exactly how I feel. That's why, after watching stuff like that, I say, man, these people. Now, do you see how desperate they are? They're getting on here lying to the American people and the military about what Trump is doing. They're suggesting that these folks should second guess what they're doing because for some reason, somehow they're attacking American citizens. They know Trump has not given any unlawful commands. They know that. Yeah, they're too cowardly and too evil to even say, this is exactly what Trump said that is unlawful. They are the worst. They're the devil type evil. Because what happens is you leave it open-ended. You just sow doubt. You just sit back and leave it ambiguous. Be like, hey, you know, you go ahead and decide what an unlawful command is. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully we'll get enough woke folk in the military to make them resist the commander-in-chief, to divide the military. Basically what they are willing to do. If they get a lot of woke folk in the military, that would simply divide the military, and you would either have to court-martial a whole bunch of them, or we would be looking at another civil war. That's what we'd be looking at. And these nasty, stinking people got the nerve to be talking about you swore an oath to the Constitution. You know what? I mean, and Trump has every reason to come out and say what he said.
President Donald Trump has more harsh words for House Democrats. So get this. The president is angered by a Washington newspaper's report saying that some Democratic lawmakers released a video urging members of the military to ignore unlawful orders. In fact, look at this. Trump said on Truth Social this morning.
Say it, Trump.
This is really bad and dangerous to our country. Their words cannot be allowed to stand. Seditious behavior from traitors. Lock them up. And then, a short time later, the president finished with this thought. Seditious behavior, punishable by death.
Now, all he did was reference the punishable by death. It is treasonous. I mean, he would know because they tried to get him for it, and he didn't do nothing. Trump didn't even make a video telling everybody out there you could disobey commands and stuff like that. No, yeah, he didn't do that. They did that. They released this treasonous video. They're utilizing their power, their relationship, their past from the dang on Intel community. One chick from the Intel community. Basically what she's saying is go back to the deep state. Let you guys become rogue, start tapping Trump's phone, setting people up, doing all kind of the dirty stuff that we found out in the past. That's what she's saying. These people are the enemies to our country. They hate Trump that much that they were willing to get up there and lie to the military and encourage them to revolt. Unreal. And so now they're going to get sensitive, y'all, because Trump went ahead and called out their sedition. Because remember, they've been accusing him forever for being a traitor. I thought he's inciting violence when he told them to peacefully walk over to the Capitol and let their voices peacefully be heard. It was a dog whistle. It was a dog whistle. Then what is this? What is this? If this ain't a dog whistle to the military telling them resist, fight back, disobey orders, then what is this? Trump told folks to walk over and peacefully let your voice be, and they said that was inciting violence, y'all, encouraging a coup. But these evil folks tell these people that Trump's sticking the military on American citizens and you don't have to listen to them.
Now we're seeing a response from House Democratic leadership who are calling on the president to take this post down. They go into that statement. They say they condemn the president's disgusting and dangerous death threats against members of Congress and call on the House Republicans to forcefully do the same.
No, those aren't death threats. Those threats come with prosecution. He said arrest, and then he said, and by the way, if you are convicted of that, guess what? It is punishable by death. He didn't say go out and randomly start killing these folks. He didn't say none of that. See, once again, inserting lies. So y'all go out there and you do something so foul and so stinking that it invokes the president to reference the penalty of your behavior. And then you use that to suggest that he's trying to send death threats to me. He's got death threat. So wait, you want folks to condemn what he said, but you don't want to take down his posts and all that stuff, but you don't want to take down your video? You don't want to take down your treasonous video suggesting that Trump did something evil and should be disobeyed? So leave that up, but take down Trump's response to your treasonous behavior.
They then go on to, as I mentioned, call the president to take the post down, calling it an unhinged social media post, and for him to recant his violent rhetoric before someone gets killed. Now,
when someone gets killed, now they're all worried about that. Now, I'm sitting back saying, okay, so unwarranted rant. First of all, what warranted you guys to put together your little info commercial? Approaching, and y'all aren't even over the military. You don't command the military, but you decide to subvert Trump, go right past him, go right past, Pete Hegseth, and go straight to the military. Y'all are talking directly to the military, suggesting that they're doing things unlawful, and they should disobey Trump. And then trying to cover his tracks by saying anything unlawful. So, excuse me, sir, what's unlawful? You decide. I'm just saying. We gave you a hint when we said he's sigging people on American citizens. Basically, we don't want you guys to help support rounding up all these illegal immigrants that we brought in our country. And now, Trump's using the military and aspects of it, and y'all don't like it.
I'll note that Speaker Johnson, the leader of the Republicans in the House, is also responding to this as well. When he was asked about the punishable by death part of the president's statement, he essentially said that the president was defining the crime of sedition. He then goes on to tell reporters in this exchange there on Capitol Hill that it was wildly inappropriate, talking about the video that was put out by the Democrats, and that the DOJ and the Pentagon are reviewing the matter. So a lot of moving parts with this developing story.
I hope that they find a reason to bring these folks in and say, what was y'all intentions? Why did you say that? What unlawful stuff prompted you guys to make this video? See, once again, you got to ask yourself, if you guys are going to come out and suggest this and directly speak to the military, what are the unlawful commands that Trump is giving you that made y'all feel like y'all needed to put together a video, music and everything, and say this to the military? What made y'all say that? And if you can't answer that, then your butt should be brought up on some type of treasonous charges. If you can't say, actually, we got evidence that Trump told them to just start shooting these illegal immigrants on sight. If you can't say that, then I have to conclude your intentions were to subvert democracy, as y'all call it. And then watch this. Watch them now cry wolf. Watch them out there. Where Trump's coming at. We ain't never seen that like this before.
Congressman, I apologize. Have you seen the tweets from Donald Trump?
So staged. Staged.
I mean, as a sitting Democratic lawmaker that's being targeted by these, what's your response?
This is the most insane and terrifying thing that we could possibly see. We know Donald Trump has unhinged. He has dementia. He's losing his mind.
Just straight line. Straight line. Yeah. Couldn't sniff out that dementia on Biden, though. Couldn't sniff that out. But you're just going to come out and sling that out. We know Trump's saying he has dementia. He's losing his mind. No. You know what? He has his mind in perfect health, because guess what? I thought the same thing. When I saw that little video, that commercial, I said, these folks are 100% treasonous. Somebody said we're losing our country. They're trying. They are trying to straight make us go into a civil war. And then they're going to come out here and talk about something. Trump's unhinged. We ain't never seen nothing like this before. He's a dementia. And I'm saying, no, what we've never seen before is sitting members of Congress addressing our military and suggesting that they should disobey our president. See, that's the stuff that led to the Civil War. And you're talking about Trump talking about that, you guys should be brought up on treasonous charges. It's unprecedented. We ain't never seen that like this. Yeah, we shouldn't have to see a response like this. But the way you guys did this warranted it. But you're blaming Trump.
This is taking it to an entire other level. He has been operating like an authoritarian since he was, inaugurated again in January. But this is terrifying.
Can't tell you how. Operating like an authoritarian. They just use this crap because they know only people who's listening to her going, are the dummies. I'm listening to you going, you are full of shite. Boy, if I had some, I'd throw it on you. Yeah, I wouldn't even put a glove on. That's how urgent I would be. I'm like, I got to rip and throw this shite on her. I ain't got time to glove it up. Just throw it all on him. All on him. Wash my hands later.
Jolly, I think if this is not the moment for every single Republican member of Congress, every single senator, every Republican governor, any person with influence in this country, if you're not going to speak out against this, then what are you even doing?
Yeah, what are you even doing? They all got the same message because they know they all stuck their foot in it. They know what they did it's unforgivable. I mean, I cannot stand these people. I mean, for them to get up there and do that, to plant that seed of division in our military, I have no mercy for them. That's why I say you cannot despise these people enough. Look at this evil guy. Look at him. See him looking like Full Metal Jacket, like that dude right there. You see the eyes of evil? Yes, Joker. I am in a world of crap. Full Metal Jacket. See this guy right here?
President of the United States just called for Democratic members of Congress to be executed.
Started off with a lie. Didn't call for them to be executed. He said that's punishable by death. But he didn't say execute them. He said arrest them. Now, if you go to trial over treason and you're found guilty, hey, yeah, you know what I'm saying?
This is not normal. We cannot allow this to feel normal.
But what is normal is the Democrats weaponizing their background in the military and weaponizing their background in the intel community and trying to connect with our men and women that are under the command of Trump and telling them that Trump's making y'all do illegal stuff. No, we ain't gonna tell y'all what that is, but trust me, it's illegal. And y'all can disobey him. That's okay. Coming from this evil stinking dude now who's crime victim.
As far as I know, has never happened before in the history of the country.
Just like never happened before in the history of the country when all of the folks in Congress who's supposed to be backing up laws that they've written, supposed to be supporting the Constitution and upholding it, but they undermine openly. They didn't even secretly do it, y'all. They didn't even go like, hey, let me talk to you for a minute. Let me talk to you. You know you ain't got to listen to you. They made a full-blown promotional video. And yet this dude's talking about, we've never seen anything like this in the country. Show me another video where folks in Congress told the military that they could disobey the president.
Every Democratic member of the Senate and the House, their life is in jeopardy right now.
Here we go. The folks that put everybody's life in jeopardy by demonizing them. Ooh, my dang one thing timed out. So the folks that call everybody racist, white supremacist, Trump's a dictator, Trump's a king, all of this, Trump is a fascist. Now he's talking about everybody's life is in danger. Did they put their own lives in danger? The only life that should be in danger are the ones that they find guilty. They go through a process, and if it is, deemed that they should be facing the death penalty, it is what it is. But nobody made them do that. Ain't nobody going after these raggedy, stinking Democrats because we're not stupid liberals. We don't sit back and say, well, since Trump said it's punishable by death, well, let us go ahead and skip the process and go find them and take care of this ourselves. That's not our style. That's the Democrat style.
Those that were specifically targeted by this social media post, Democratic senators and House members who were simply saying that no member of the military should act illegally or in violation.
Simply. You see this? This is the stuff that makes them so manipulative, so evil. You think I'm stupid. That's all they was doing. They would just simply say, hey, look, just so happen in life while you're serving in the military, if there's ever a time where someone asks you to do something illegally, you don't have to do it. I'm pretty sure they covered that when these folks signed up. I'm pretty sure they know the basics. But yet these people decide, let's go ahead and come out and reinforce that. For some reason, right now, at this point in time, when Trump is digging into us with our illegal immigrants.
Of the Constitution, the President of the United States just called for members of Congress to be executed.
See?
If you are a person...
See? Straight up lie. So they're going to take what Trump said because of the stupid decisions they made and then flip it and try to make it seem like Trump just randomly said these people should be killed just for exercising your First Amendment, just making a reinforcing and reiterating to the military that, hey, that you don't have to obey unlawful orders. For what? Well, what made y'all decide to reach out to us? What made y'all decide right now that this is a good time to reinforce that? Y'all didn't rely on the generals and the colonels and stuff who actually is over those guys to let them know that. It took members from Congress who ain't even in the military, don't command the military, to decide that we need to go ahead and let them know. And yet, once again, he thinks that he's pretending to be a victim and now they're all in danger for them. I'm like, I don't give a darn about you guys right now because you are treasonous. Unbelievable. Willing to spark off a darn civil war.
Person of influence in this country, maybe it's time to pick a side.
Oh, yeah.
President Trump this morning
fake rapper
seemed to be calling for the death of some of his political opponents.
Yeah, but fake rapper, dude didn't say the Democrats this morning seem to be calling for treason against the president with our military. You didn't say that? You didn't open up with that? Fake crap? You didn't open up with that, fake crap? You didn't open up with that. I can't believe that the Democrats put out a video saying that the military. No, you want to talk about President Trump like, oh my God, this came out of nowhere. Nowhere. I don't even know why Trump said this.
Their execution.
Their
At
execution.
10:21 this morning.
No, not their execution. See, now, you know what they're trying to make it sound like? Trump's just like, you know what? Just go to their house right now. Grab them, drag them right out of their crib and hang them. See how they play these games? They understand that there's a process for treason. They know that. But he's not going to let his people know that Trump's referring to the process and the results of treason. He wants his people to think that Trump is just about to send some random folks, send the military, send over Cash Patel or somebody, or even worse, inspire all of his MAGA sycophants to run and do it. Just drag them out and hang them in the middle of the street. Now, you see the dirty, stinking games that they play, and that's why I say you cannot despise the Democrats enough. Let's continue hearing them try to cry victim.
He wrote, quote, seditious behavior punishable by death. He's talking about a handful of House and Senate Democrats with background in military and the intelligence community and the national security community who put out a video saying that any members of the military or intelligence communities who are handed down illegal orders from their superiors should not carry out illegal orders.
Oh, but you're not able to put together the context in which they were saying that? Fake? You're going to go ahead and try to lie to us and make us think that, hey, that's just common sense.
True. You shouldn't carry out illegal orders. You shouldn't carry out anything illegal. You shouldn't break the law.
Oh, you see that? Yeah, he just want to go ahead and blend that in with everything in society. That's just general. Everybody should operate like that. Hey, don't do nasty things like kids. Son, when you go out, don't do bad things, nothing illegal. Come home. So that's what you're saying. You're not able to understand what is implied through that promotional video. You really think it's just simply being nice? Why not just send that message out to every citizen across the country, since it's that easy to interpret? Hey, this is the Democrats. We just want everyone in America to know that, hey, unless you're an illegal immigrant, we want you guys to not do anything illegal. There you go. But instead, y'all target the military. And notice the key thing that they stressed. They said, right now, this administration is having the military attack American citizens. They lied to the military about what the president is doing and then backed it up by saying, and you don't have to do it. Basically, don't help him deport our illegal immigrants and don't help bring civility to these S-hole ran Democrat cities. That's what they're saying to him, fake crapper. But you just want to make it seem like they were just being nice and giving everybody a friendly update. You don't have to do bad things.
President Trump is now accusing these people of sedition.
Yeah.
President Trump has been really pushing this on social media in ways that are rather inflammatory.
Earlier today.
Yeah, I would be fighting mad. I mean, that's like, I got a classroom of kids, and all of a sudden, you got another teacher talking about some, all right, kids, you ain't got to listen to Mr. Kevin. Sometime when he be telling y'all to be quiet and do your work, right there, he's violating your civil liberties. You don't have to. I will be furious. You're undermining my authority, and you're doing it out in the open, and don't expect, to have any type of repercussions. Now, this is the beginning of a civil war when you start doing that. When you let this stuff go, when you are okay with leadership fracturing our military, willing to do that. What if half the military decided, you know what, we're going to go ahead and side with the Democrats and let them establish Kamala Harris as the rightful leader? Yeah, these are things that these fools don't even care about. And then you get Mr. Burns. We're almost done, y'all. I'm sorry I'm going a little long. But I'm passionate about this because I want everybody to know why I despise the Democrats and why you can't despise them enough. So let's listen to Mr. Burns now come out with some more lies.
Today, Donald Trump shared a post on Truth Social calling for Democratic members of Congress to be hanged.
Oh, yeah, just that simple. You see? See, now they're going to make him out to be the bad guy, the villain. Okay? So I'm the bad guy, huh? Well, take a good look at the bad guy, okay? All right? Yeah, you people need people like me, okay? So now Trump's the bad guy. Yeah, Trump's just calling for people to be hanged. He didn't mention that he called for them to be arrested first. Did he say hanging without a trial? I mean, did he suggest anything outside of the legal ramifications, the legal fallout for treason? Did he suggest any of that? No, but you're going to get up there and make it seem like he did, while overlooking the treasonous act.
He also posted a message that said, seditious behavior, punishable by death.
Is it? It is.
Let's be crystal clear.
Okay.
The President of the United States is calling for the execution of elected officials.
You see that? See the lie? And they wonder why I despise him. You're inciting more violence by lying to your dummies who will definitely respond to that because they're ignorant and won't even inquire. Wait, what do you mean? They won't ask what these people did. Yeah, they won't sit back, and even if they watch the video, they probably, that's right, Trump's a white supremacist, he's a dictator, he's sending them all in. And we got to stop this dictator. Now he wants to kill these Democrats. No, these Democrats are disgustingly evil. That's what they are. And yet, instead of mentioning these Democrats, they're undermining him, his authority, and trying to divide the military. He just simply said he wants them killed.
This is an outright threat, and it's deadly serious. We've already seen what happens when Donald Trump tells his followers that his political opponents are enemies of the state.
You know,
nothing. They go and walk around the Capitol with cell phones and stuff and get arrested and get like 32 years in prison from the real dictator, the real authoritarian regime. Yeah, Ashley Babbitt gets shot. I remember that. I also know that a whole bunch of folks was in that audience encouraging them, opening doors, stuff like that. But yeah, we all know about Donald Trump. No, we know what you guys do. All of the burnt cities, all of the folks attacked, all of the folks shot, killed. That's you guys. And then watch this guy. He gonna get on Fox News and try to justify his stupidity.
But it's unfortunate that in politics these days, people grab something and twist it and contort it and lie.
Some might say that you have grabbed something and twisted it and contorted it. You have.
And how? So let me understand. It's our misinterpretation of you guys suggesting to the military that y'all don't have to follow Donald Trump's orders because he's having you all attacked. We're supposed to misinterpret that, twist it, and lie. Yeah, that's a dog whistle that I definitely could hear. So she's going to fight back against this crap.
You know, you're talking to young members of the American military, and you're not telling them specifically what it is they should see as illegal. So you're putting ideas into their head that maybe they're being asked to do something illegal. And what we're seeing actually is recruitment rising and people wanting to join the military under the president.
Here's an interesting.
Yeah, because that was the goal, to undermine the authority of the president, sow doubt, sow confusion, sow chaos, and make people question what they're doing. Who knows? We might get enough of them that we could launch our own coup with half the military. Yeah. And yet we shouldn't be brought in on treasonous charges.
Interesting fact for you, Martha. Our men and women actually are very smart, very incredible men and women in our military. And
you don't
a
have
recent
to tell me
survey,
that.
well, apparently I do.
Apparently I do.
Sir, I have great respect for the United States military.
Well, you know, you don't think they can handle a reminder about federal law and the UCMJ as well.
Wait a minute, you dirtbag Democrat who I despise with no base. Thank you. Somebody caught that. Yeah, apparently y'all assume that they're not that smart. When you guys got to put together an infomercial to remind them you don't have to obey unlawful rules. But you're saying that she don't think they're smart enough to know the difference between lawful and unlawful. You see the hypocrisy. You see these stinking nasty people. So let me understand. These smart, intelligent young men and women who are very well trained and coached, you guys got to sit back and give them a reminder of it. You don't have to follow unlawful rules and stuff. And by the way, Trump's sigging the military on civilians. And now he's busted. And he's trying to go ahead and say, these people are smart, but yet they're too dumb to realize they shouldn't be doing things that are unlawful.
What I'm hearing. And a recent survey showed that 8 out of 10 service members deeply understand their obligation of lawful orders.
What that
right? 8 out of 10.
Then why did y'all need to remind them?
It should be 10 out of 10, but this is something that they're trained on. Go and look at the training. Maybe even go and participate or observe some of the training that our men and women go through. It is incredible. We expect a lot of these men and women.
Now you hear the shite that he's shoveling? You hear the shite shoveler right here? So wait. On one end, they're very well trained, Marsha, and then you just they belittle their intelligence. They know right from wrong and stuff. But we had to put together an infomercial telling them y'all don't have to obey Trump if he... See the double speak? This nasty worm is trying to get off the hook.
And they go through very intense, rigorous training because they're put in intense, rigorous positions. And frankly, I bristle at the notion that they can't handle a suggestion or a reminder of what the law requires them to do and what the Constitution requires them to do.
So no, why do you need to do that? Why did y'all need to go ahead and remind them? If they're so smart and well trained, you dirty dirtbag, you, I need to be doing this interview. I would be ripping him a new one.
You actually disparage them when you say that a simple reminder.
You disparage them. Wait a minute. Hold on. Wait. You see this? That's why. Especially evil. So she's disparaging them. Not you guys. Not you guys coming in saying, I mean, are you doing the right thing? Yeah, you know what I'm saying? You ain't got to listen to Trump. But she's disparaging them. While you guys are sowing division and putting doubt in their heads. Telling them, hey, y'all got an ally over here if you suffering from Trump derangement syndrome in the military. We got your back. You ain't got to listen to them, just like you illegal immigrants. Y'all ain't got to listen. And they're telling y'all to go home, go hide, come to us. We'll help y'all with the coup. Unreal, man, these stinking people. Man, our country, we got to get rid of these people. And I ain't talking about, like, try to take them out somewhere. I gotta stress that for the dummies. I'm talking about we got to beat and expose these people to where they are irrelevant in society.
The simple reminder is something they cannot handle.
You're wrong. You're 100% wrong. I didn't disparage them in any way. In fact, I give them enormous credit.
You don't think they can handle reminders about their legal obligations?
I think
they can't handle reminders. Well, no, they should be offended that y'all had to remind them. I'm saying, like, why are y'all even telling us this? I mean, why is this relevant? See, nobody's asking that question, but yet they're whining about being accused of treason. Why was that little info commercial relevant? Did y'all do that because y'all saw Trump doing something illegal? Leading up to you telling them they ain't got to obey unlawful orders, y'all were stressing the fact that Trump was sicking the military on civilians, American civilians. And so y'all want what they don't know that? They're not smart enough to know that actually these aren't American civilians. But y'all had to let them know that.
If it was specific and they could figure out what order you're referring to, I have the most deep respect for everyone who serves in the military.
Well, they didn't want it specific for a reason. They want to open up the door for any quack, any crazy person, any rebel in the military, any woke person in the military to fill in the blanks. Give them a blanket excuse to disobey Donald Trump and launch a coup. Let's see what Mike Johnson has to say about it. We got 10 minutes. We out of here.
Speaker, how you doing? The president posted that Democrats who urge service members to not follow illegal orders should be punished, it should be seditious, conspiracy, and punishable death. Give me a response to that.
Look, I know the DOJ and the Pentagon are looking into the legality of all that, but what I can address is what everybody knows. That was wildly inappropriate. It is very dangerous. You have leading members of Congress telling troops to disobey orders. I think that's unprecedented in American history. And as the father of a young man who is, at the Naval Academy, going to be joining the service, I know young soldiers, airmen, sailors, they don't need that kind of nonsense from people in Congress. It is very dangerous. I'm going to let others define what it is, but it's wildly inappropriate.
Yeah, and Democrats are willing to use that. They don't care that it's inappropriate. They don't care that it's unprecedented. They don't care of the fallout that could come from poisoning the minds of military people. If I was in the military, I don't see how any person in the military could ever vote for the treasonous Democrat Party. If they're willing to do that for power and control, my question is, do we even want these people in any type of leadership? If I was a military person, I'm going, man, they might command me to do something unlawful. We want you to attack all the MAGA folks. We're sending the troops in to dig out all the MAGA folks. And I'm going, oh yeah, I can see them doing something like that. So now Carolyn Levitt has to go ahead and address this stupidity because the media want to focus on Trump trying to kill people.
Does the president want to execute members of Congress?
No. Let's be clear about what the president is responding to.
Help her out.
Because many in this room want to talk about the president's response, but not what brought the president to responding in this way.
Yeah.
You have sitting members of the United States Congress who conspired together to orchestrate a video message to members of the United States military, to active duty service members, to members of the national security apparatus, encouraging them to defy the president's lawful orders.
Yep.
The sanctity of our military rests on the chain of command. And if that chain of command is broken, it can lead to people getting killed. It can lead to chaos. And that's what these members of Congress who swore an oath to abide by the Constitution are essentially encouraging. We have 1.3 active duty service members in this country. And if they hear this radical message from sitting members of Congress, that could inspire chaos, and it could incite violence, and it certainly could disrupt the chain of command.
Now, you see how smart and intelligent she just laid that out? Common sense, cause and effect. I can see how corrupt and evil those Democrats were in her statement. Very clear to see it. That would redirect my attention, even if I was too stupid to realize it up front. Hearing her break that down would have made me go, yeah, good point. But instead...
And these three members of Congress, I will also add, knew exactly what they were doing. You look at Alyssa Slotkin. She's a former member of the CIA. Mark Kelly was a captain in the U.S. Navy. Maggie Goodlander was a naval officer. And notably, she is also the wife of Joe Biden's national security former advisor,
so they know better?
Jake Sullivan. And so these members knew what they were doing. They were leading into their credentials as former members of our military, as veterans, as former members of the national security apparatus to signal to people serving under this commander-in-chief, Donald Trump, that you can defy him and you can betray your oath of office. That is a very, very dangerous message, and it perhaps is punishable by law. I'm not a lawyer. I'll leave that to the Department of Justice and the Department of War to decide.
I'll handle this case. I'm not a lawyer either, but I play one on TV. Yeah, sounds like treason to me. She broke that mess all the way down. As the stupid reporter overlooked that. That President Trump wants members of Congress to be killed. No, do members of Congress want to be executed under the law for treason because they hate Trump so much and they love these illegal immigrants so much that they were willing to risk their own freedom and lives to undermine the president and basically suggest a division in our military. And you ain't got to listen to that president. We ain't going to tell you what he did. But this guy ain't having it.
Well, the investigation would absolutely be under what their intent was in saying this.
Yeah, what was their intent?
The question, we've all watched this a lot today, and the question you have to ask yourself is what is their intent? What is the reason that they all went on a video and encouraged young men and women to...
Good stuff! Huh? Yeah, that you got to ask them that. Do you feel lucky, huh, punks? What do you? So now, let's go ahead and see folks that ain't having it respond to all this. Well, yeah, Trump wants us dead.
Defy court orders without even giving a hint
Nothing.
of what's illegal, without even giving any suggestion of what law or what order they're being asked to violate.
Yep.
You cannot do that in this country, especially if you're a leader. And so what does the investigation look like? I think they should be held to account. I think that those congressmen should be required to answer questions and to answer questions about why they did what they did, and the American people deserve that, and so does President Trump.
And see, the crazy part is, what were they thinking? What response did they think they were going to get? Did they really think this video was going to cause the military to just start disobeying Trump? Well, I mean, these are the things that I go, Democrats are dumb. They're dumb, but evil. Really, really evil. For some reason, they say, you know what we should do? Put together a promotional video using our former credentials to build some type of trust from folks in the military that when we tell them, hey, we're just saying, you don't have to follow unlawful, commands. And I'm just saying, whatever this corrupt regime and this administration who are attacking our constitutional rights, whatever you fill in the blanks and believe, then believe it. But if these military people are that smart, they should see what they're doing. They should be able to see that the Democrats are trying to cause a coup within our military. So hopefully they're smart as that guy was saying, to where they're all going, these stinking, nasty Democrats are trying to get us to become traitors. I hope that's what they're seeing. Oh, and now we got Bannon.
Blanche is not a guy who runs around with hair on fire. Yeah. He was very mad last night. Yeah. Right? This can't be allowed to stand.
I'm mad too.
Particularly when you have troops in the field. Lincoln and FDR would never have allowed this to stand, okay? They would take immediate action on this.
I mean, so look, this is, again, the most dangerous speech I've heard from politicians in a very, very long time. You have Democrat members of the House and Senate, wink, wink, nod, nod, telling intel officials and military officers enlisted to ignore orders of the President of the United States. They say unlawful orders because, of course, a 19-year-old, Army enlisted guy is supposed to know what's a lawful order and not.
They don't believe in.
Now, we're going to end with the brain. The brain is about to bring the pain. Brain came to bring the pain hardcore to the brain. Come on, brain, take us home. Because brain ain't having it. He's going to tell us how he really feel. And how I feel, too, about these Democrats.
Systems, they don't believe in rules, they don't believe in laws, they believe in whatever keeps them in power. And if what they think keeps them in power is a military insurrection or a CIA insurrection, that's what they support.
Well.
But if, in a different setting, let's say a soldier doesn't want to take the COVID vaccine, then they represent a threat to order in their view, and that person must be crushed and deprived of employment, deprived of opportunity.
Well, where's the organist for the brain? Well, preach, brain. Because he's really breaking down what these folks are about. They will use the military, if they could, for all kind of evil and suppression of the people, but yet punish them at the same time while telling them, we believe you, stand strong and fight against Trump. But hey, if you don't take our experimental drug, you're going to have to go ahead and step down.
If a Democrat, for example, complains about election integrity, that person's a hero. If a Republican complains of election integrity, that person's to be jailed and incarcerated for life. This is the moment that we're in. This is what we're dealing with. So when we say that Democrats are communists, we don't just mean that, well, they believe in the state control of property. We mean they've adopted a method of thinking in which any use of force is justified for their end state of power and control.
Man, he's on it. The brain is bringing the pain. That's what makes them communist. Yeah, they're like, whatever we have to do to keep people in control and to stay in power, we do it. Don't worry. Mother Russia shall rise again. So yeah, that's exactly how they think. These folks are willing to do stuff that we look at and we go, we see what you're doing. I mean, it's a shame your dummies don't. Y'all didn't realize that they were using lawfare against Trump and he didn't do nothing? Y'all didn't see that? These folks were that bold and that evil to do it right in front of our faces. Yeah, you didn't see that they were trying to set us all up for lockdowns and putting us on lists and stuff. Y'all didn't see that? You didn't see why they were bringing all these illegal immigrants, thousands a day, and lying to us, saying that we could talk about it as seasonal and the Congress needs. You couldn't see the evil. You can see how these folks are willing to do whatever they have to do. You couldn't see why that chick Stacey set aside all of her hatred for Epstein and all her experience from life, her mother and stuff like that. Set all of that mess aside to try to get dirt on Trump, but you couldn't see that. It's unbelievable to us. That is why the Republicans got to do something to ensure these crazy evil folks never take power again.
So they become a third world party, and we have to internalize that. We're not dealing with the old Democratic Party. We're dealing with a third world party.
Thank you, Stephen. And until these Republicans, rhinos and all, realize that, we're always at risk. If they don't abolish the filibuster and put Trump stuff into law, if they don't gerrymander the heck out of every red state to make sure that we keep the House and the Senate, we're still vulnerable. We got to beat them into submission. Yeah, we got to beat the evil out of them. So that's where we at, man. And I cannot tolerate the evilness of these politicians, man. They are infecting our whole country, destroying the country, dividing the country, putting the country at risk, trying to cause coups. They're doing whatever they can. Right now, they are fighting for their life because they know they're on the ropes. But the Republicans don't realize that. I'm saying, look, if you do this right, we knock them out. If you don't recognize the fact that they are wobbling like Mike Tyson's knockout with Glass Jaw Joe or whoever he was, you got to wind up and knock him out. If you playing Mortal Kombat and your dude sitting there wobbling, you heard what the game say, finish him. And we need to have the guts to finish these crazy, corrupt, evil politicians who we know if they in power, they will be willing to do any and everything to stay in power and make sure we never have a shot at a real republic again. Now, God bless y'all. God bless America. Sorry I went over a little long, but when I was putting this together, I didn't know how I could go ahead and chop it up. I was like, man, I'm going to have to mess around and do the whole thing. Forget it. Yeah, you always have to ride and die with me for a little over 2 hours. So thanks for kicking it with me. Don't forget, on the way out, hit the like button, share my videos, follow me on all the other social media platforms. The dogs are up in the other room. I'm gonna leave them alone. I'm starting to catch cramps in my hamstrings right here, so I gotta go ahead and sign off. My butt fell asleep sitting here all this time. But yeah, I'll give y'all a cameo a little bit later. If you want to support the channel, I'm still taking donations through my Cash App and my PayPal link. The links are below. Please subscribe to my alternative channel. Somebody said magnesium. Yeah, I need something. Somebody said that was excellent stuff, Kevin. Thank you. I appreciate it, man. I went hard in on the paint, and it came from my gut, man. I believed in every word of what I said about these stinking folks, man, and my despising of them. So anyway, we'll see you guys maybe sometime over the weekend. Who knows? All right. God bless y'all. God bless America. Take care. Yeah. Oh, I got my ending. Up north, got our hands around y'all throats. I know you see the way we tear up the place. Yeah. Take care.